ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Lennox. Major League Baseball has announced its postponed spring training games through March 5th. The league and the MLB Players Association expected to meet on Monday. ESPN MLB analyst Buster Olney on where the relationship stands right now between the two sides.
The working relationship has remained absolutely terrible, and I got to tell you that there are a lot of people at the team level, club executives, and there are a lot of players who are watching this play out with a lack of dialogue, saying, what the hell is going on?
Buster Olney earlier on Bart and Hahn. The college football playoff is not expanding at this point. Will remain at 4 teams through the end of its current contract, which expires after the 2025 season. The 10 FBS conferences and Notre Dame will forfeit roughly $450 million in potential revenue. NBA has entered its All-Star break. All-Star weekend festivities underway tonight in Cleveland with the Rising Stars game. ESPN Radio's coverage starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. 71st NBA All-Star game. Team LeBron, Team Durant, Sunday night from Cleveland. Coverage underway at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hey, it's a Friday in Jacksonville. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Got a lot of fun things to do today. That usually means, hey, we got nothing. No, it really does. We got a lot of fun things to do today. We got to open more cards. We have more moments.
Let's go.
Find out if this is really a hot box.
I know. It kind of cooled off yesterday a little bit.
It did. That's because I wasn't here.
Okay.
I changed, I'm superstitious here.
There it is.
I should have skipped out on Daytona.
I blame the gloves, but...
Yeah, maybe. You did mix it up. See,
yeah.
And Casey was probably right.
Yeah.
He left the top loaders at home.
Yeah, I know, man.
Because he left them at home. Even though he said it was superstitious. Those superstitions in baseball can hold the phone a little bit because spring training games canceled through March 5th.
Yep.
Those jokers can't... I mean, what the hell else are they doing? Why do they have to wait until Monday to talk?
I think both sides are just
weekends
kinda...
off? You don't work the weekends in negotiations?
I think both sides are posturing,
Posture for the last, 8 years, okay?
Okay.
Let's go. That's how negotiations work.
This is true.
I guess.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
At all our at Major League Baseball's expense, potentially.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But that's the latest news.
I mean, the longer it goes, the more it looks like Casey might be right in terms of may not be a season this year, which I think he's dead wrong. I find it hard to fathom, but
I think that's just negative Nelly right there. Debbie Downer right there. How many names can I give him?
I like two. Debbie Downer, negative
Dismal
Nelly.
Doug.
Okay.
I've never heard that before.
Me either.
Well, how about we be like a truthful Tim right now and tell the real truth, where it's like they met for 15 minutes and walked out. So you're not up to a good start there.
I'm just being... I wasn't ready.
Truthful Tim. What would have been a good one?
I was thinking more honest Hank.
You want to go honest Abe.
Honest Abe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It threw me off.
Honest Abe with an H in front of it.
Yeah, it threw me off.
But anyway, we'll see what happens with baseball. We got plenty of time for baseball. Figure it out.
Does it make you nervous that their meeting was 15 minutes?
Yeah. I guess I read some things about it. Really, that shouldn't be the main problem. They at least it's really what they said in the 15 minutes. Like, how much are they changing? How much are they proposing? How much are they moving the needle? And then why are they waiting another 6 days to propose again, or 5 days, whatever it might be? I think that's more the issue. It's like, all right, just get there and keep working, keep grinding at it. We get it. We understand how this works. We've been around sports long enough. I don't think the fans dumb, and everybody's going to posture and all that stuff. But now we're still not right around the corner from the season. We got 6 weeks really to go until the season, 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, maybe next time be a 30-minute meeting, make some progress.
Maybe it will.
Well, if you want the perspective from a Major League Baseball player, OT last night on the podcast, Dane Dunning, he talked about it.
Yeah, what did he say about it?
I don't remember.
Yep, you're gonna have to tune in and listen, right?
That's why, you got to tune in. Like I can't just tell you what he said.
Because you went through this in the lockout stuff with the NFL.
Yeah.
As a player, like you understand, right? You're fighting for the greater good, and both sides are, and that's kind of what happens in negotiations. But let's be honest. As a player, you're like, all right, I want to go play.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're in the NFL. I mean, you were very young in the NFL. You're like, I want to go play. I want to go make, like Dane Dunning, he's been pitching for the Rangers. You have your clock ticks, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you want to go play. I understand. Again, you might be really deep in the weeds of it and then have strong principles about it. And you obviously want your side to benefit and all those things. But there's a group of people that represent like the unions that really feel that way, that feel strong. And then there's a lot on the periphery that's like, all right, boys, get this done, but let's go play ball.
Yeah, but I think nowadays, even back when I was going through the lockout until now, player empowerment is more powerful than ever. And when you talk about players versus owners, I mean, it might be it's relevant, obviously, in football, but also in baseball, where, you know, money isn't even an issue, it seems like, you know, because there's not really a salary cap there or anything. So I get what you're saying when these guys want to play, but I also think that they want to get the best from the owners as well.
Yeah.
You know?
They want the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, anyway, nothing moving on baseball. Something moving down Jags headquarters, though, and that was the introduction to, well, we already heard from Doug Pederson, but he elaborated a little bit on the staff. I don't know if there was a whole bunch new from Doug, but more of an elaboration of what he kind of said a couple weeks ago. And we did get to hear from Press Taylor and Mike Caldwell. I thought those guys were pretty interesting. And Press Taylor's an important part of this now going forward. You know, my biggest takeaway
what you got?
From the whole, like, about almost an hour worth of sound and questions and answers. And my biggest takeaway was twofold. It came from Press Taylor.
Okay.
And one was like this whole bit about like accountability, right? There was more talk about accountability. There was more talk about, hey, we got to put our egos aside. We've got to, we got to all come together and collaborate. That's been a word, right? We got to communicate. We got to do what's best for Trevor, what's best for offense, all those things. And I think he just acknowledged the fact that, listen, everybody's got an ego, but you've got to be able to work together, especially when you have guys like McCoy, Pederson, Press Taylor, and Jim Bob Cooter, guys that have done it, in different ways, and you take those systems. I thought it was pretty interesting. You said, listen, this isn't the Philadelphia Eagles playbook, and boom, here it is in Jacksonville. It's going to evolve. It's Doug Pederson stuff, but it's going to evolve based on what everybody else says. So I thought that acknowledgement was interesting, just at least in the polar opposite of what we saw Urban Meyer. I'm not sure Urban Meyer didn't say some of those things, but sure. I think at least what went down in Jacksonville, we didn't really feel like that was happening very much. And then here's what I really thought. This is my biggest takeaway. The thing that I heard over the last couple of weeks, Press Taylor might have said the thing that I wanted to hear the most. And I actually think this is so important here in Jacksonville. And he said it a couple of different times. He said, listen, we have to do what's right, not for Press Taylor, not just for Trevor Lawrence, not for whatever, but what's good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know that sounds like, yeah, Brent, why would everybody say that? Well, because that's not really what's transpired here. Like, I don't see the NFL working like that sometimes. I think the NFL is a very me league. I think the NFL has a lot of agendas and what's good for me and my family and surviving and keep getting a paycheck. And I've said this a couple of times over the last few months. I said they need to get some people in here that are going to do right by the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's good for the Jaguars? Now, he said it. Will they do it? I hope so. And again, I think everybody in their heart wants to do that. But this league is really a dog-eat-dog world, Yeah. And so I think you get away from that sometimes. And I really think this organization has gotten away from that over the last, 3, 4, 5 years. There's been a lot of, hey, how do I survive? How do I survive? Forget about the Jags, Well, now maybe it can turn back to what's good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's good to get them out of the basement? What's good to make this team successful? Can they say it and then deliver on it? That's what I'm going to be watching.
Yeah, I think with every coaching staff, there is a little bit of what can we do for the team, but also it's self-preservation. It's protecting yourself and your circle around you. That's why I'm pretty excited that Pederson has brought in a lot of former players to be part of the staff, because I think if any coaching staff was going to say they're going to do right by the team, I trust the guys who have been in a locker room, who have played at the highest level, who have shared a locker room with former teammates and things like that. I trust those guys even more just because they've been there. They've been players. They know what it means. They know how much losing sucks. That they know what it means to win, and they know everything that comes with both of those things. So I believe in Press Taylor. I think Doug Pederson obviously shares that same sentiment, but I definitely believe the former players that are now coaches are going to buy into that as well because they've been there before.
Yeah, so I think the players part is interesting. Another buzzword, Mike Caldwell, I think when asked about the players stuff is, hey, we're teachers, right? We got to teach. You heard a lot of teach. And you almost forget that. You're like, everybody's made it to this point. You got the 1% athlete. They don't need to be coached up that much. Well, I think what proved to be in last year specifically, is that there was, at times, it felt like a lack of development, right? And so I think Doug Pederson realizes that, knows that. I think that's what you're seeing about this infrastructure around Trevor specifically, but it's not just Trevor. It's everybody. How do we get this player from here to here? Up, growing, developing. And can you do that across the board? Or can you do that with 80% of the players? Well, then you got a better chance to be successful, and you're better from day one than you are by December. And so I thought, again, I get it. I understand it. Some of these things are pretty cliche. Some of these things are pretty simplistic and elementary. But I'm not sure I've heard it in those words as much, and now I want to see if they'll do it. I think teach and coach was often said by these three guys today for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most important thing when we talk about coaching is getting your point across and making your players understand what you're trying to do. And if you share that message, they understand that, well, now you have a common ground, and that's where success comes in. I think, if you want to go back to last year with Urban Meyer, I think it was kind of colluded a little bit. It was just the fact of Meyer saying something, Meyer, preaching something, but not practicing what he was preaching. And that led to an issue. That led to players not buying in. I go back once again. I think having former players now in your coaching staff is only going to help the communication process because they've been on the field. They know how players learn. You're right. Everybody learns a little differently. Everybody receives information a little differently. If you can find that common ground, well, that's the building block to success right there.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, an early break here today because James Robinson's scheduled to join us on the other side at 3:15. So let's take a timeout early in the show on a Friday. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We'll talk more about the coaching staff. We'll ask James Robinson a little bit about the coaching staff. First time we've talked to James in quite a bit. How's the injury coming along? Scheduled to join us, the Jags running back, James Robinson, in just a few minutes right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to mostly cloudy, breezy today. A few showers developing with temperatures reaching the 70s before turning cooler late this afternoon. Clearing tonight, dropping to about 50. And it becomes mostly sunny tomorrow, but breezy. It'll be cooler for your Saturday with highs in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop Beard's Diamonds.
If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It can be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead, so you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
The legend, John Fogerty, performing live. May 8th at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. John plays all the biggest hits from Creedence Clearwater Revival. And on the same night, John performs solo hits as well. Get tickets now at the venue box office or Ticketmaster.com.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White mission.
The COVID-19 vaccine, there's so much news about it, but what's true and what's not? Before you pass on its protection, get all the facts. Elder Source can help with a free workshop given at your church or organization. Learn how the vaccine works, potential side effects, and where you can get a free one. Encourage your church or organization's leadership to book a free workshop by visiting myeldersource.org/COVID.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
You see flashes. You see, the offense taking strides throughout the course of the year. You see the defense making those strides. And now it's about we got to be consistent every week. There's got to be consistency, and there's got to be ownership with that. But, are we going to go out and add talent? Yeah, we're going to add talent. We're going to add competition. We're going to bring value to the roster. Every team does that, and we're no exception, to that. So, but I see talent here.
That's Doug Pederson. Pretty consistent over the last couple of weeks. Said he likes some of the parts here in Jacksonville. Is there a chance the Jags have more talent than other people want to say or admit? I mean, do they have more there to work with than maybe their record indicates over the last couple of years?
I think they have potential. It's hard to say, do they have talent right now, because we haven't seen the maximum potential of that. But there is potential there. It's about getting, the best out of it, though.
Yeah, and then, listen, they do have some guy, obviously a guy like ETN who didn't play last year at all, so we don't even know what that is, right? And they got some guys on both sides of the ball. You think you can get more out of Josh Allen from a production standpoint. I'm sure Mike Caldwell will try to do that. Yeah. We'll see Miles Jack from a consistency standpoint. If he can play at a super high level. Yeah. So, and then you're right. There are some young guys the jury's out right now. We just don't know how those guys are going to be and factor in. Scheduled to have James Robinson join us here in just a couple of moments. So waiting on James to give us a buzz. And then hopefully we'll talk a little more on the Jags running game and the coaching staff. Mike Caldwell said this. I'm sure you saw it. Not committing to a 4-3-3-4, anything schematically. He says, hey, we're going to see what we have. We're going to see who else we pick up, and we'll go from there. So I got a feeling that's going to kind of be the answer the rest of 2022, and he's never really going to say we're a 3-4 team, a 4-3 team. I think if you read between the lines on defensive coaches these days, very few want to admit what they are. They want to be somewhat of a hybrid, unless you just know, like, that's what you do, right? I mean, we kind of know, like, what Gus Bradley's defense will do, right? Yeah. So, but I do think some of these other defenses, well, even though they have a lot, what would Joe, right? I mean, Joe never really was like, yeah, we're a solid 3-4, but he certainly had mostly 3-4 principles.
It was definitely a 3-4 defense, but I do buy into Caldwell right now, because if he is going to go with the Todd Bowles approach, then you can call it a base 3-4, but then you'll see a 3-3-5. You'll see a bear. You'll see a 4-6 sometimes. So once again, kind of like I broke down when he was first rumored to come to Jacksonville. To me, this is going to be a defense that's all predicated on who they're playing that week. I think the defense that you see playing the Tennessee Titans will be different than the team that's, when you play like the Dallas Cowboys, for instance. So I think week in and week out, if he does follow that Todd Bowles approach, it's going to be just drastically different.
Yeah, and I think his job is to get the most out of Allen and Miles Jack and others. And who knows who else they add. He was – this is going to be an aggressive defense, and we knew that from the Tampa. Right, for what they did in Tampa and what he's been around. And one other thing about this coaching staff, and you got this from Caldwell and others, but a lot of them have been around each other or in like similar systems or similar ties to it. And so, I really do think Doug kind of put together the staff that he had in mind maybe even 2 months ago before he got a job in the NFL again. I think he kind of put together that staff. I'm sure there was somebody that was on his list that he couldn't get, but I think that part's interesting, that there's a familiarity, whether it's because Doug Pederson played back in the day with Caldwell or whether it's most recently he's been with Press Taylor or he was whatever it was, like a grad assistant with Mike McCoy way back, So the familiarity, I think, is going to feel different around here in Jacksonville because, again, Urban didn't know all those guys. I think there was somewhat of a bit of a lack of trust on that staff because you didn't know everybody. I'm not saying everybody was infighting. I'm just saying you had to feel that out, right? You had to get to know people if you're part of that staff. There might be a little bit of that, but I don't think there's going to be a ton of that here on this staff.
No, I just think like we talk about this all the time. There just needs to be defined roles of what each guy's job is. And as long as they define those roles, that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, so we'll see what they look like on the defensive side. Offensively, I think we're still going to look for playmakers and speed around here. Press Taylor, by the way, didn't say today that they're just looking for one guy. He said his offense, their offense, what Doug wants to run, is pretty adaptable. He actually made the comparison to a basketball team. You want this guy doing this and this guy doing that, and it brings a little bit of everything to the table.
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and then you fit it together. So the Golden State Warriors. Mike Tannenbaum was not wrong.
I guess so, man.
He was not wrong about that. So that's a very positive sign going forward. We kind of know. It's funny, like, we're asking about the defense a lot. What's it going to look like? I guess everybody kind of has a feel of what they know the offense will look like because they watch Pederson's offense go. In Philadelphia, even if it's not exact, the style is going to be that of a West Coast offense.
Sure. Watching the press conference, he's going to air it out. Yeah, okay, I understand that. But if you go back to how they won the Super Bowl, it was a big dose of LeGarrette Blount as well. It was a big dose of a running game that had wrinkles to it, whether it was a smash mouth style of LeGarrette Blount or more of just, the kind of like the slashing, flashing guy like a Corey Clement. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely expect to see an upgraded receiver room. I expect to see Trevor Lawrence having more confidence, putting up better stats. But I also expect to see a pretty good dose of the running game in the forms of, a James Robinson, a Travis Etienne, whoever else maybe they decide to bring in.
Yeah. Etienne's really interesting on I think Urban Meyer's offense, that team, I think their idea when they drafted him was to use him kind of all over the place. Mm-hmm. Now, Press Taylor kind of said that too, maybe all over the place. But I actually thought they would utilize Etienne more in the passing game in year one. I really did. I didn't think – I'm not saying he wasn't going to run the ball. And the way it shook out, and maybe because of the injury to James anyway, maybe he would have run the ball more. But I just didn't think I thought he was going to be more of an impact player in the passing game. I don't know if I have that same feeling now because really I don't have a gut about Etienne coming off the injury.
Well, and I'm definitely very curious to see how Doug Pederson plans to handle the running back room. Because if you know about the Doug Pederson offenses, he employs a lot of running backs. In 17, you had Clement, you had Blount, you had Jai for a little bit, you had Wendell Smallwood, then you had Kendall Barner for 13 games, you had Darren Sproles. So he loves to get running backs, and he loves different types of running backs, all shapes and sizes, all can do different things, and all usually get an opportunity. So I wonder, when you have Doug Pederson right now, you're coming in here, you see you have a guy in James Robinson who you know what he's going to give you, right? You see a guy in Travis Etienne where you kind of have a picture, I would at least say, of what he's going to give you. I wonder between those two guys, where do you fill in the cracks then? Because, two running backs in a Doug Pederson room, not even close to being enough. I mean, he's going to have 4 or 5 guys out there. So I wonder what kind of route he goes then. Does he go for more of the smash mouth type of running backs? Or does he go for more of the third down backs, the speedsters, and things like that? It'll be something to keep an eye on.
Well, I do think the most interesting rooms actually to watch for Doug Pederson-led team is running back and tight end room, right? Kind of what is he – I think he's actually more known for what he did with the tight ends. Mm-hmm. And so we've said that, and they need some more ammunition in that tight end room, probably to do what Doug Pederson wants to do. So I think that is it. Do you think there's a player out there? We've talked a lot about free agency this week. We mentioned yesterday Allen Robinson or DJ Chark. Do you think there's a player out there that would change what they want to do on offense? Or we're talking about players and personnel and scheme on the defensive side. Hey, we're going to adapt to what these guys are good at.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a player out there that they could pick up or draft that would then alter maybe your thinking of what they could potentially do on the offensive side of the ball? Or because they're going to run through everything through Trevor, it all starts there.
Yeah.
And that's where you build it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Etienne could be that guy, depending, how healthy he is for training camp and what he looks like. I think depending on where they envision Etienne, he could definitely be that guy in terms of the types of wrinkles that this offense wants to use. Now, once again, if you get a tight end, that could be a difference maker as well because Doug Pederson loves his tight ends. Dan Arnold showed some promise, but in terms of being the overall number one, tight end via receiver, I don't know how confident we are quite yet with Dan Arnold. So tight end could be an interesting position as well. But to me, it's about Travis Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne could be a difference maker. I think the tight end room could be wild, and then whatever you got at wide receiver, what does that look like? Mm-hmm. I think that's really the hard thing to project. I think the Jags will get better at tight end. I think they'll obviously add to the room in running back, but I think that the change that they could have on offense is really what they could have on the outside. Like, what do they do? Who do they go get? What does that look like? Is it speed? Is it more an Allen Robinson type? Is it somebody in the draft that you got to wait for? And are you really counting on LaVisca and Marvin Jones to have better years? Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot to be written still on what that offense looks like under Doug Pederson and this staff. So the Jacksonville Jaguars staff introduced, and we'll see where it goes from here. It's now this just comes into just player acquisition time. I mean, then you can start talking about, okay, which guy goes where, but it's really hard to project right now the Jacksonville Jaguars because we really don't know which way they're going to go with that number one overall pick like we knew last year. Yeah. And therefore, what is the domino effect of their draft based on what they do with the number one overall pick? But also free agency. They've got a lot of money to spend. This is a better class. We said that yesterday than last year. And we thought they were going tight end last year, and they really didn't. I mean, they went tight end with Manhurts from a blocking perspective, but not like one of the big guns, Jonnu Smith or Hunter Henry. So how they really maneuver in March, and then, of course, in late April with the draft, then we'll be able to kind of put the pieces together on what this could look like in Jacksonville.
What do you think it's going to look like in terms of the quarterback and Trevor Lawrence, in terms of how much free reign he has to rush? Because when Doug Pederson had Carson Wentz, 17, Wentz was averaging 23 yards a game rushing, which I'm not sure what Trevor Lawrence even averaged this year. But I feel like 23 is not that much in the grand scheme of things.
23 a game?
23 a game.
Let's see. Trevor was somewhere around, I think, 300-something yards rushing over 17 games, so 170. He was probably right around 20 yards a game.
Okay, so do you think that's going to be the status quo, or does he take, the ball in terms of, does he say, hey, Trevor, just throw it away? We don't need another Carson Wentz experiment.
That's a good call. That's really interesting. I would say they'll learn a little bit from that lesson of they won't pound him like Carson Wentz is, because I think Carson Wentz has taken some damage.
Yeah.
One, because he didn't know how to get down. The one thing that Trevor showed on tape last year is that he knows how to avoid the big hit. He got hit like once or twice, but he didn't take the beating like Carson Wentz took.
So Trevor averaged 19.6 yards per game last year on the ground.
It's about 20.
Yeah.
That's – but I think there were times, especially early on in the year, where he wasn't using his legs, and then he hit a stretch where he really started to use his legs more, and they said, okay, let's try to do this. I think most coaches are going to default to, hey, don't run unless you need to, right? I mean, look, we just watched Kyler Murray, who can flat out run, not even try to run this year, and that was obviously pretty planned. They'd be like, hey, stay in the pocket more, don't take hits, stay healthy. But meanwhile, you look at guys like Mahomes. Josh Allen's a totally different animal. They're obviously not afraid of that. They're not afraid of getting him dinged up. But I think Mahomes is an interesting one, because Mahomes, when he needs to run, he can really open it up and get chunks of yardage. Part of that's because everybody's 80 yards downfield. They're so fast. Yeah. But I do think it could be – I look at it more from a Mahomes type of view where, it's there. You might have games where Trevor gets like 50-plus yards rushing, and some of those are huge plays. But I don't see it like a Josh Allen kind of way where he's really getting 70 yards like in back-to-back games.
Okay.
On designed runs. I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
I think I want it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want Trevor Lawrence to be the run-first guy. Absolutely not. And, I would rather see him throw the ball away and live to see another day than maybe take an injury as well. So I agree with you there.
Yeah. So it's a good question, though.
Ironically, he was 8th in the NFL in rushing last year for quarterbacks.
Trevor was?
Yes.
That high?
Yep.
Wow. At 20 yards carry. What was his total yardage?
334 yards.
Wow. What's a guy like, obviously Jalen Hurts led the league, right?
Correct. 784 yards.
And let me get it. What's Josh Allen?
763 yards.
Wow, he had that many. How about Patrick Mahomes?
381 yards.
Okay, see, that's more like it. That's what I feel like, at least. Give me somebody else. Give me somebody else that's worth looking. How about like Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson only had 183 yards.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Man, you could go through this list. You say Kyler Murray. It's like, what, Kyler Murray, one of the least in the league?
423.
Oh, yeah, that many?
He was 4th.
Really?
Yeah.
It did not feel like it.
No, it didn't. And only
he must have had some big games where he went for like 90.
Had to be, yeah.
Right? Because that really didn't feel like. It felt like he wasn't even trying to run. Wow, I would not have guessed that he was that high.
Averaged 30 yards a game.
Wow. Okay.
How many did Lamar have, even though he missed half a season?
Lamar Jackson had 767 yards.
In half a season?
That was second. That was in 12 games.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Wow, that's his game, though, right?
63 yards a pop.
He's more the Jalen Hurts type where he's going to run that much. Josh Allen's in that mix.
It also seemed like they tried to take that away from him a little bit, though. Remember? Because he had a couple games, he had 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, I think there's a battle right now for some of those guys being like, okay, I know if I keep getting hit, I'm going to get hurt. And Lamar hasn't really been hit that much either. He's tough to hit. He's tough to square up. But I also think, hey, they're trying to prove something like I can do this from the pocket.
Yeah.
Because really my $40 million a year payday is coming from the pocket, not as a runner, because people aren't going to buy into me as a runner only. Or if that's how long can I do this is the question they're going to ask. So it's an interesting game. They're almost playing with themselves right now.
So in 13 games, Zach Wilson rushed for 185 yards. How many of those yards were against the Jaguars? Didn't he have like a 70-yard touchdown run or a 60-yard touchdown run?
He had how many did he run for?
So he total 185 yards.
Oh, yeah. Half of it was against the Jags.
Nice.
I think it was 90-something yards against the Jags.
Nice.
Now, see, he's a guy that I thought would run a little bit more. He was instead running for his life.
Yeah, no, he averaged 6.4 yards a game.
Wow.
Do sacks go against you?
No, not in college they do. But not in the NFL they don't.
That's surprising, then.
Yeah. Which, by the way, they shouldn't in college. It's a stupid thing. It's really stupid in college. It's one of the dumbest things that they put sacks under rushing yards.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know what? I think this is the perfect model to go off of here in terms of a quarterback who has a nice setup. You take a look at Justin Herbert, who has every capability to run. I mean, I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns against the Badgers in the Rose Bowl. But Justin Herbert, 302 yards, only averaged 4.8. Only averaged 17 yards per game in terms of rushing the ball. But obviously got done with his arm more. Yeah. But like he has that in his tool belt if he wants to use it, but they don't make him use it.
Yeah. I just think it's timely. It really feels like those are the same guys.
Yeah.
Herbert, Trevor, all that. Like you're not going to sit there and I don't think Trevor's ever going to have the Josh Allen game.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, I think Josh Allen's just got a special breed. By the way, Daniel Jones, your boy, 298 yards. That's a lot of injuries and a lot of hurt for only 298 yards that season.
Timmy says that's such a weak take, Brent. Lamar got hurt in the pocket. Joe Burrow hurt in the pocket. Deshaun hurt in the pocket. I'm not saying you can't get hurt in the pocket. You're more susceptible to being hurt if you're out there running and getting hit by linebackers.
Yeah. I mean,
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz for sure because he didn't know how to slide. I think Lamar's different because he's so shifty where like he knows. Like I mean, he can push it. And he can be like, all right, I'm gonna walk along the edge here. But Lamar Jackson is so just dynamic in how he runs with the football. He's almost impossible to get a big hit on.
Yeah, well, I said that. I think it's hard to really square up. And so I think it will be a part of his game. But I think some of these folks are wrestling, some of these quarterbacks that can run are wrestling with the idea. It totally felt like that with Kyler Murray. Like he was like, listen, I'm going to show you I can do it from the pocket. Like we said it. In the course of the year, it's like, why isn't he running? And then you thought he would really run and unveil it in the playoffs, and he still didn't do it. And now some of that might have been the ankle injury too. Like I'm shocked that he ended up with that. I must have missed a few games where he ran off for like 90 yards or 100 yards or something. Because he was not a steady runner through the course of the year like he was in his rookie season.
Correct.
Which was pretty interesting. Hey, let's take a break. I've been told James Robinson will call us momentarily. So how about that, Casey? We'll take a break. On the other side, hopefully we'll have James give us some time to chat with the Jags running back for a little bit. Hopefully that's on the way when we come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Three of the biggest names in sports will be at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall in February. Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, and Pete Rose all on one weekend at Palm Beach Autographs. On Thursday, February 24th, Tyson is in town. Then on Friday, the all-time hit king Pete Rose. And Saturday, the wrestling icon Ric Flair. PalmBeachAutographs.com/signings for more information and times. Tickets for autographs and professional photo opportunities are available at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall or online at PalmBeachAutographs.com. Mike Tyson, Pete Rose, Ric Flair in Jacksonville, February 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Watching TaxSlayer calculate your refund feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. At maximum refund speed. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rocket.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Tobacco-Free Florida has
has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE? Both of these conditions are highly treatable.
Ladies, if your man is suffering from ED or PE, he should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center offer custom-blended medications.
There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
That's 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217.
Beard's Diamond's most exciting offer is back for a limited time.
0% financing for 5 years. Plus, get zero down.
It's the sale smart jewelry shoppers wait for.
You get Beard's already low prices, but then you get to spread your payments out for 60 months with no money down. But hurry, this incredible finance opportunity won't last long.
How about a $6,000 Decory or Veragio ring?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a pair of $3,000 stud earrings.
You pay just $50 a month.
And every purchase at Beard's Diamonds is backed by our free lifetime guarantee.
Now's the time to get her that designer setting she's been dreaming about.
And spread your payments out for 5 years. Simply divide your total price by 60, and that's all you'll pay per month.
Don't miss out on the best deal of the year. 0% financing for 5 years. Plus, get zero down on everything in the store.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the lowest prices on diamonds in Jacksonville, guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
The weather is getting better. The Players' Championship, Masters, and more majors are on the way. It's that time of year for golf fever. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay a lot for the golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses have raised their rates. You can play for less. The Dream 18 card has even more value in 2022. Discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor as well. Plus, you'll receive free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. $69. That's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charities as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com to order the Dream 18 card, the best discount golf card at the best price in town.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to reduce wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Try Syntec today exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
On average, an artificial limb for a child starts at $5,000, and the first prosthetic for an adult can cost up to $50,000, making it nearly impossible for disabled children or veterans to afford the limb they need. At Life Giving Limbs, we cover the cost of these prosthetics, giving recipients a chance at receiving a new limb and a new start on life. Please help by donating now. Visit lifegivinglimbs.com or call 469-601-8523.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
It's hard for me to speak to what has gone wrong or is wrong or whatever. That's I don't know, quite frankly, and I really don't care about that. What I care about is moving forward from 2 weeks ago when I was hired, and that's what we're trying to change. That's what I'm trying to change. I'm trying to turn this into a winning program, a winning organization. And do you learn from the past? Of course. You study it, of course. But at the same time, my focus has always been a forward-thinking approach to everything we do.
That's Doug Pederson. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would have said, oh, yeah, we've gone back and looked and we studied this and this is what happens when he kind of said a little bit like, yeah, you're going to take a look at things and hopefully learn from them. It's like, screw what happened in the past. It's a new day.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. Because remember, Urban Meyer said he had studied the NFL and studied this and studied that, and he probably told Shad, this is what we're going to change, this is what we're going to do, this is this, and then boom, nothing.
Yeah.
So I like what Doug said there.
Let me ask you this. If you were to take 32 press conferences from, every coach in the NFL, every head coach, and you don't know who they are, but you just listen to them, how many of them could you tell whether they're an offensive coach or defensive coach? Because I heard Doug Pederson right there. I'm like, he's got that Sean McVay cadence. I knew it was Doug Pederson, but it's just the way he speaks. It's a classic offensive coordinator vibes for whatever reason for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I think you could probably take the 32 and figure that out.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard to do it because about 15 of them at least, you know who they are.
No, for sure.
And so you correlate. But, yeah, it's probably better to do that with, the assistant coach, the coordinators, because then you wouldn't really know who they are. And so I think you're right. I think you can usually tell. I think there's even today, if you look at Press Taylor and Mike Caldwell, I think the way they were describing what they were doing and about to do it, I think there's a pretty obvious, I don't know about obvious, but I think there is a little distinction between offensive guy and defensive guy. I will say I like that about Pederson, though. That was one of the other parts of that news conference that I'm like, okay, that's cool, At first I was taken aback when he's like, wait a minute, you didn't go study it? You didn't say, what do you got to fix? Why has this place been so bad? I've written articles about it. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
We do 3 hours a day about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to listen in, Doug.
Yeah.
We'll tell you.
Yeah,
By the way, you don't have to research it. We've done the R&D on this. It's been done for a decade.
Yeah.
Plus. And so, but I did find it interesting. I was like, you know what? Screw that. I know what it's basically I know what it takes to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what from Kansas City and maybe my time as a player, but definitely from Kansas City and under Andy Reid and Philadelphia doing it myself, I know what it takes to win. I don't need to sit here and tell you what you did wrong for the last 10 years. This is the way we're going to do it because I know this works.
Correct.
And I kind of like that.
No, without a doubt. And I think Andy Reid would be the guy, too, where it'd be, if you didn't know him, it'd be kind of hard to guess what he's coaching. Just the way he kind of.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
side?
saying? Yeah, which side?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheeseburgers for everybody.
Cheeseburgers for everybody.
We'll get back to the NFL and some of the Jags stuff in a little bit. But you see college football playoff? They're going to hang with 4.
Oh, we're doing 4 again this
2025 until this contract runs out. So that'd be through 2025, which actually, by the way, as we creep up on the years, it's not that much longer anyway. I'm not sure I guess 2024, Casey, right? That could have been the time where you might have seen a change in the expanded playoff.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I expected that in my mind. I thought this might take another 4 years or so before they move on to the expansion of the playoffs. And especially with everything going on in sports, in college sports with the NIL and the transfer portal and everything, I think they're trying to figure a lot of things. You got teams jumping conferences left and right. So I think there's a lot to determine before maybe that. But I do think it's going to happen. I just think we might be a handful of years away from it happening.
Do you think once it finally does happen and it's an extended playoff, are there going to be still bowl games for those playoff games?
Well, I think that's part of the debate. I believe it will be. I think it'll be neutral site games.
Yeah.
And by the way, the longer this goes and the longer they wait, the better chance Jacksonville has a chance to get in on that.
Good call.
Because by then, some 5 years down the road or 7 years down the road, now you're talking potentially new stadium, but obviously more downtown built. So you've got some of those things in your back pocket.
Facilities, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, think about it. In 5 years, let's just say they started the college football. They expanded in 5 years. So that's 2027, right? Or maybe it's a 26 season, but 27. Yeah. And I think by that time, Jacksonville will look a lot different. You have a 4 seasons. You'll have some of the shipyard stuff done. You might have a stadium in the works.
Super Bowl trophies hanging up, man. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Trevor Town will be everywhere.
Trevor Town's going to be a thing.
So it'll be just interesting to think of it from that angle. I think maybe it's beneficial to a place like Jacksonville. It doesn't mean if they started it tomorrow, you couldn't bid on it in some 5 or 6 years. But it's okay. Like, I think it's okay that we're not going to get the expansion immediately, even though I'm for the expansion. Are you for the expansion?
Yeah. I mean, why not? I think more teams get an opportunity, especially, maybe the outside the Power 5 get an opportunity to kind of prove their worth a little bit. Why not?
Yeah. That's what I'm really interested what the conference stuff looks like by then.
Sure.
And do we end up with these mega conferences? Is the group of 5 a thing still? As it sits right now, I agree with you. I like Cinderella getting to the dance.
Well, the last thing I want is for UCF to hang another banner said they won a national championship. Let's find out then. You know what I'm saying? Let's find out how good those teams really are, and you have to play the playoff like everybody else, and then we'll find a winner at the end. So that's what I want this for. Is the schools that maybe have an easier schedule that are maybe undefeated, they finally get a chance to prove their make their opportunity work and see what they can do with it.
I think Cincinnati kind of did that a little bit. They cracked that mold to get to the Final Four, but I will tell you this, the more and more I see people, and maybe it's just like a small sample and I just see it and notice it, I think there are a lot of people around college football season, the way this one shook out or others have shaken out in the past, that they're okay with the 4. They don't want the expansion. They think it waters it down. I would think everybody, from a fan perspective, would want expansion. I don't understand why you wouldn't. We have March Madness is coming up. We just saw an unbelievable playoff in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
What was it, 7 points, 3, deciding every game after that? Why don't you want more of that? Now, what people are afraid of is the blowout. Are you going to get these 2 blowouts and
I think
what we got in the
too.
Semifinals and injuries?
Yeah,
but the fan's not concerned about injuries.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, wasn't that happen? Didn't both semifinals get blown out, right? Georgia beat Michigan.
Yes.
And so that's why they're like, well, why do we want this? Why do we want to see that 3 times over?
But see, it begs the question, though. If you go, it'd be 16 teams, right? Or
no,
it'd be 12 teams, sorry.
Well, it could be. I mean, I think they're leaning toward 12.
Yeah. I mean, if you go 12 teams, though, and guys are seniors or entering the draft, I mean, how are they going to weigh that then? Are you going to play the couple extra games, or are you going to say, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to win a national championship. It's a big bracket. I'd rather go to the NFL and make my money.
Well, I think, but you're right. That's a spin-off and another tentacle of a possible playoff is that these other bowl games, you will get those players sticking around, in my estimation. If you have something to play for, and by the way, I'm not one of these guys that says, I can't believe they opt out of these games. I don't blame them for opting out of the games. I know there's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah.
But I would say if my team has a chance to win a national title by winning 3 games in the next few weeks, well, then I would say there's probably more likelihood that I'm going to help my team out if I'm a stud player and try to win a national title rather than get out for the NFL draft.
For sure.
So I think that part of it's pretty interesting as well. So college football playoff, sticking around at 4 for the next few years. I'm okay with that. I do think we eventually get to this expansion, and hopefully we do. All right now we're joined by Jags running back James Robinson here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Been a while since we talked to James since the end of the season. We saw him on a scooter a couple of weeks ago inside Jags headquarters when Doug Pederson was announced. So before we ask about the new coach, hope you're doing well, man, and give us an update. How's the Achilles?
Oh, it's doing good. I started walking in the boot without the crutches, so it's going pretty well right now.
Well, yeah, so that's great. Is that kind of on schedule where you thought you'd be? I mean, what's this thing look like for you?
Yeah, it's on schedule for sure. I haven't had any pain since the first couple of days after surgery, so feels like it's healing pretty well.
That's good. Brent Martineau, former Jags player, Austin Lane, and James Robinson, Jaguars running back here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. All right, I don't know how much detail you can give us, but obviously you knew something popped. We kind of all knew something popped at that time. And then we saw like Cam Akers come back and play like 4 months later or 5, whatever it was. It was ridiculous. Like, we think this is a long injury. I'm not a doctor. Are there different levels of Achilles? Like, do you know when you're going to be allowed back? Is it wait and see? Is yours a longer term one than maybe a Cam Akers? Give us a little bit of your thoughts on that and what the doctors are telling you.
I mean, so I'm not really sure if some can be worse than others, I'm sure they could be, but I'm not sure what Cam Akers actually had. Maybe his was higher or something like that, but mine was low. They haven't said anything like that. I mean, they just said I'm on track to be able to come back for sure. So
now, James, do they like sew it back or do they staple? Like, what do they do with it exactly?
I think I think he said they went in and they stitched. I'm not stitched, but like they put something through there because they just pulled them together basically, and then tied it. And I don't really know.
Hey, you were probably knocked out.
I wouldn't want to know. Yeah, I'm trying to know that. That's gnarly.
That's a tough injury right now. Jaguars running back James Robinson with us. All right, man, what's your take on all the things that have been happening around here? Since you had a lot of stuff going on in your world, and then obviously you have a coaching change, and Doug Pederson's hired. You met him a couple of weeks ago. Give us your first impressions of Doug Pederson.
He seems like a cool coach. I mean, he told us he was for the players, and that's like a really big thing with me. I mean, a coach, a guy that cares about the players. I mean, the players really want to play for him, you know. So I mean, I met him I think twice so far, but it wasn't really like a sit down meet or anything. Just I saw him while I wasn't going in for treatment, and that was about it.
Austin, you played the game. What does that mean? James said players coach. I think people are like, oh, good. They're going to take it easy on him. Not going to work.
No,
right?
not at all.
And we've had this conversation before. And so I think you guys as players, as former players, know what that means maybe more than the outside world does.
I think that's the cool thing about Doug Pederson. He is a former player, right? So just in that in itself, you can relate to players a little better. To me, a player's coach is a guy who's genuine, who you can kind of trust, and he can trust you back. You know, I mean, players, coaches can still yell at you. They can still chew you out and everything. But I think it's just a form of being genuine.
Is that how you view it, James?
For me, I mean, sort of. I mean, obviously, you're never going to get yelled at sometimes, but you just got to be able to deal with that. But players, I don't think a lot of players really complain about a coach that's not as cool. I mean, they kind of like it, but, I mean, it just depends, I guess.
Yeah. Block your ears for a moment. Maybe a player's coach is one that if you get benched, they tell you got benched. Yeah. There you go. That might
Shots
be one.
fired, Brett.
Yeah. I hope he blocked his ears on
Shots
that.
fired, yeah.
By the way. Hey, have you actually looked back at and thought about, I mean, I know you got some time now. How tough was last year? Have you reflected on it at all?
Nah. I mean, for me, I was dealing with that heel injury, and then Achilles happened, so I've just kind of been looking forward and trying to get back.
Yeah, so, I mean, for you, then, it was more just from a physical standpoint. You couldn't be yourself. Was that probably the most frustrating part?
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously I want to be 100%, but when I was out there, I was feeling it, but it was just something I had to play through, and I tried to be as productive as possible.
James, you know, I'm sure you talked to Doug Pederson a little bit here. Has he kind of give you like a little vision of how he plans to use you in this offense going forward, or is it kind of wait and see right now?
We haven't talked about anything like that, so, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty early in the game probably for that. Hey, you know, we don't know Bernie Parmalee that well. I remember him as a player. But, you know, with COVID and everything, we don't get to know a lot of these guys. What's your relationship like with Parmalee? You happy he's sticking around?
Oh, yeah, I'm happy he's sticking around. I mean, obviously from the first year, then the second year having just a different coach, you can't really get to know someone. But, yeah, I'm happy that he's staying around, so good.
That's a good deal. What's your plan now? Like how you know, you get off the crutches a little bit, you get going around. I mean, you really can't go full go like you would normally try to get back into the fold. So what's your mentality here for these next few months where you would normally start picking things up, whether it was from a workout regimen in the weight room? How are you going to attack this offseason and getting back into the season, even though it might be a little bit of wait and see on the injury?
Sorry, what did you say? What was the last part?
How are you going to attack this offseason, even though you might have to wait and see a little bit on when you're available?
I mean, I do what I can. When I work out, I just kind of do upper body right now, and then my good leg, I work on that a little bit. I mean, I just kind of do all the little things that wouldn't bring me trouble to the Achilles or anything. So I'm just kind of taking it slow right now.
Is it a tough rehab?
No. I mean, I'm not sure how other ones went, but mine's doing fine right now.
All right, good.
James, when you're 100% again, I want to ask you this question. When you play Fred VanVleet in a game of one-on-one pickup basketball, counting ones and twos, what is the final score of that game?
Oh.
Is this game to 11 or 21?
I used to play basketball. 10. I mean.
Oh, I know. And he also plays basketball pretty well.
yeah, he's very good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to play him one day, and I'll let you guys know.
Okay, cool. Are you guys from the same hometown then, or you kind of grew up by each other? Yeah, okay.
No, we're both from Rockford.
I got you.
How good a basketball player were you?
I was good until high school. I didn't like it in high school.
Same here.
Well, I would say I'm still good at basketball. I'm saying I didn't like the game as much.
I got you. So, I mean, you quick, can't stop you. You physical guard, or you can shoot it. What?
I can do it all.
Now, did you
dunk?
Did you have more scholarship offers for basketball or for football?
Oh, I didn't take basketball serious in high school.
I got you.
Yeah. Well, listen, he was on. They overlooked him coming out in football too.
I know. Hey, it's the same thing with me, Brent. I know. I didn't take basketball seriously either. I just happen to be pretty good at it.
Yeah, I didn't have the same problem as you guys. But can you throw it down, dunk it, and have some fun with it?
I could dunk in high school.
Pretty good, dunk contest kind of guy.
No, not like that.
Okay. Are you? How about NBA wise? Are you an NBA fan?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Favorite guy? Because Austin went to Murray State, so he's a Ja Morant guy.
Well, and I'm also a Giannis guy, being from Wisconsin.
Well, that's true. He's a Bucks fan.
Mine is LeBron.
All right. LeBron. That's all right. I like that. So is it LeBron's fault or the Lakers' fault right now? Or is it LeBron's fault because he runs the Lakers?
I don't know.
Hey, how much conversation will you have with some of the players over this offseason? You guys just get away from each other, or will you guys stay in touch, like Trevor, and especially as you try to work through this new playbook of Doug Pederson's, because that's always one of the biggest challenges, right? I mean, for you're going to go 3 years in, 3 different playbooks.
We all get together most of the time. I mean, a lot of guys take trips. Some stay a little bit. So, I mean, the guys that's here, I think we all kind of text each other and see what's going on about stuff. So,
Austin was a defensive end, so he didn't really have to learn plays. But everybody else talks about the playbook and the terminology. So now that you will go through this for the third time, is it as hard as people say? Is it just take a little time? What's your view on that from the running back position?
Some of the plays are basically the same, just different terms, like you said. Some of them mean the same thing, but they just call it something different. So it's just you got to try to get the stuff out of your head from last year, try to put the new stuff in. So it's sometimes I did it last year. I could just remember the old plays from my rookie year being the same as the plays from this past year.
Okay. Yeah, so you just got to flush it, basically, the actual terms, and start over. Makes sense.
Hey, James, I saw that Murray State's going to join the Missouri Valley Conference with Illinois State. How nervous are the Redbirds right now in terms of their football program?
I don't really know. I mean, I haven't really
That's why
been watching it like that.
I got you.
He stays in Jacksonville now, so he doesn't have to go back and deal with the Murray State.
I don't want to deal with that program either, the Illinois State. They had the worst fans ever played in front of. They were mean, man.
I didn't know they had a football team.
That's a good point.
Hey, all right. Put a bow on this conversation. Appreciate you joining us, man. Good to catch up. What's your expectation? Do you think you're going to be back mid-season? Do you have that in your head?
For me?
Yeah, early in the season. Like, do you have any idea when you could make it back off an Achilles, considering the timing of your injury?
I can. I'll be good before the season.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're kind of taking the approach that like Cam Akers did. So, I mean, the trainers talk back and forth. So, I'm sure I'll be back.
All right, I buried the lead, James. I thought for sure it might be a little bit longer, but
they're doing crazy things these days.
They
with the
really
killers.
are. So it is a little bit more Akers-like. That's awesome to hear. I think people will be really happy to hear that. And hey, I hope rehab goes well. Hopefully, we'll catch up with you from time to time and see how it's going. But thanks for jumping in for a few minutes.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. That's James Robinson, Jaguars running back, and I guess we can get on the Cam Akers schedule.
Told you, man. They're doing crazy things.
There's your knowledge. Sorry. Bad job by me. I thought I still thought there was a differential in my mind.
I feel like you blow out your Achilles, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like you blow out your ACL.
I just felt like Akers was it felt like such a rarity to be back that soon. But I know you bring up like it was a gymnast.
There's a gymnast from Russia, but I mean, it's Russia, you know. Hey. Hey, I don't know if they're popping their grandpa's heart medication or what they're doing in Russia, but you know.
Yeah, you know that. Hey, by the way, that's big news right there.
Yeah,
that's good news.
Yeah.
Again, I think everybody was. I mean, he almost like if he could have jumped through the phone at me, said midseason. What the hell are you talking about? Right?
I was going to say the same thing, Brent. I was like, "What are you talking about midseason, Brent? This guy's coming back sooner. Don't worry."
So that'll be good to watch. And we did see him on the scooter a couple weeks ago. He said now he's walking around a little bit, and then how much can they accelerate that? But I think that was pretty interesting from James there. That actually Akers and their trainers and people that doctors and everybody else are actually talking, communicating, and trying to go along.
We have to have like a doctor on the show to kind of talk about.
I know. I feel
what
like I might have asked, but I think it's really hard unless you specifically know their situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So even in my guess is like if you have a doctor on, they'll come in, they'll be like, yeah, you could come back like Cam Akers did, but that's the rare occasion. Yeah. But most, if you're going to take 10 to 12 months or whatever it might be, you know. Mm-hmm. And I also wonder how many guys in the NFL are actually dealing with Achilles injuries. That's not a very common injury.
No, I mean, I remember in training camp, I believe it was back in 2012, DeAnthony Smith. Former third-round pick out of Louisiana Tech. We're literally just going through like our individual drills. We're doing like like the bag drill. You have to go over the bag, and also we just sort of like a stick just snap.
You could hear it.
And I'm like, what was that? And then we look at his, and he had socks. He had like the high socks on, but you could tell like I thought it was a cramping because it looked like a cramp, but no, that was the Achilles tendon that rolled up all the way up to his calf.
Wow.
And it was gnarly. And I remember him going through rehab. It was a long time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it was a long time, right?
Yes.
I think we just come off Kevin Durant. A long time.
Yes, yeah.
Now, he chose to make it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But again, that Achilles injury can be a nasty one, and it's not that all that common one. Very much like the ACL in this, though, what you just said.
Yeah.
You can basically just be walking, very non-contact injury, and just boom, it goes. Correct. And that's what happened to James.
Yep.
He was out in the backfield. Nobody was even near him when he went down. So good catching up with James Robinson. That was a very good update at the end of the interview with James Robinson. Now we got interviews lined up left and right. Gerard Tucker, the head coach of the Jacksonville Giants. Thanks for hanging around. Sorry we're a little long with James, Coach, but appreciate you jumping in on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. What's happening?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
You bet. How's this coaching thing? We're used to you playing.
Hey, man, it was a tough transition at the beginning, but I mean, I think I've caught my stride a little bit. The guys are actually, playing hard and actually doing their job, so I can't complain.
Well, you guys are winning too. What else is new for the Jacksonville Giants? That certainly helps. Yeah. Are you like? Has this been, like, transition-wise? I'd imagine to be tough because when Austin and I have been on the team, you were a teammate of ours. you know. And for so many other people like on that team, it's the same thing. You were their teammate. Now all of a sudden you're the coach. Now you could tell you were like the elder statesman, like you were kind of coaching a little bit too. But was that part of it? Like, hey, I'm not your teammate anymore. Now I'm going to yell at you and make you do like suicides if you screw up.
Well, you know what? I think it's a respect factor both ways. So, you know, I told them, you know, a few of the guys before the season, like when they first asked me to be coach, I was like, hey, man, what do you think about me, you know, coaching? And they were like, oh, man, that'd be great. And I was like, would you play for me? And they were like, of course. Like, why not? Like, you were coaching us pretty much on the floor, so why not, you know what I'm saying, have you just coaching on the sideline? And then they were like, you know, it'd be better for you to be yelling at us on the sideline instead of on the court. So.
Gerard, you know, when you talk about that transition, I mean, to me, you know, having played in the league and everything, it always means just a little more. It's not the end-all, be-all, but to me, it always meant a little more when I played for a coach that was in there himself, right? You know, he understands the game and he played at the highest level, kind of like a Jack Del Rio, let's say. I mean, do you kind of find that same respect from the players where they know what you're capable of, that they know your skill set, what you meant to the Giants for so long, and now they show you that respect back, you know, being a coach and as a player?
Oh, yeah, they absolutely show their respect back. Like, you know, when you've been playing in this league for so long, you know a lot of people. And so, like, you know, a lot of people were like, they were shocked that I was the coach because they were like, oh, man, we're so used to you playing. But, you know, they know that I know basketball. They also know that, you know, I also have the team's best interest at heart. So it's all about me. No, it's really about the Giants and us continuing to run a tradition that we have. So I'm just, you know, just trying to do a solid job of pushing the guys forward, keeping the guys in front, you know, just making sure we maintain that winning attitude, that winning spirit. So.
Gerard Tucker with us, Jacksonville Giants head coach, won 5 championships during his playing days with the Jacksonville Giants. Giants on an 11-game win streak right now. Got a couple games up in Georgia this weekend. Next Saturday, back at home, and ring ceremony night to celebrate another championship. So how much pressure is it around here on the Giants, like as a player or a coach, just to keep this thing rolling? I mean, you guys win so much, and obviously there's probably a little fear factor of, hey, I don't want to be the team that doesn't.
Right. I mean, so first game of the season, we actually lost.
Yes.
And everybody was like, you know, everybody's like the hounds are at the door, like they're banging on the door, like, wait a minute, it's your fault, it's your fault. So I'm like, let me get myself together real quick. So I mean, it's a little bit of pressure to maintain that, you know, the winning spirit, but I think with the group of guys that we got, we got some veterans come back. We got Maurice coming back, Bernard. So once you have that good core, that good, you know, good talent around you, it's kind of easy to maintain that winning spirit.
Hey, Coach, so when we talk about, you know, all the life lessons that you learned during your playing career, what's been the biggest lesson that you've turned over from playing to now coaching?
I have to stop watching the game as a player. So the first few games of the season, like I would sit there and just watch the game, and like I'm like trying to analyze the game like I'm playing in the game. So I'm like telling people like, oh wait, you get to this spot and you'll be better at this. Like you do this, you do that, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't tell them that because they're not me. So, like I can't tell them that, hey, if you get to this spot, you'll be better at this spot, because guess what? They can't get to the same spot that I used to get to. So I had to learn how to analyze people's game and actually just tell them, hey, listen, I think in this spot you'll be better. I think if you shot this shot, you'll be better. You know, just watch, not even, I wouldn't say watching, but just coaching the guys, like making sure that I'm putting them in the best position for them, not just for the position that I think will be best for them. You know what I'm saying? So
I always wonder if go ahead.
It was tough, man.
Yeah.
You know, you sitting there on the sideline, you're just watching the game go back and forth, and then my assistant coach is like, hey, I think we need a timeout.
Oh, yeah, that's my job.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Gerard Tucker with us, head coach of Jacksonville Giants. We'll wrap up with you. I always wondered, like, you ever, like, think about just taking, like, 4 of the guys, and you can still play, obviously, you're just playing recently, and just go to the Y and try to hustle some people?
You know what's crazy? A lot of people keep asking me, like, are you going to be like Bill Russell? You're going to be like the player coach and this type of thing? And I'm like, No. I think I'm just going to let these guys play. I'll just stand on the sideline and try to look good. But other than that, I'll let them play out there. I mean, trust me, drastic measures, I might step out there, but not right now. I mean, I enjoy coaching right now because it's fun. I get a chance to learn more about basketball as I go forward. So, I mean, I'm always trying to learn something every day. So why not take on a coaching gig just like this one to, kind of get my feet wet a little bit and, try to make it to another level. So.
Well, and hey, Coach, we talk about, sitting on the sidelines looking good. Are we going full suit here? Are we going tie? What are we talking about here for your style in terms of coaching?
Well, I've never been a real suit and tie kind of guy.
Join the club?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, these guys will tell you, they're like, you're the only coach that wears Jordans in the league. And I'm like, so, I mean, I don't. That's just my swag, man. It's just how I dress. So, I mean, if you come to the game on 26, you'll see. Like, I'm not a real suit and tie kind of guy. I mean, even the coaches in the NBA don't wear suit and ties anymore. So,
sure.
I mean, this is more like pullovers. It'll be nice. I'll make sure it's put together. Just for you guys.
Appreciate it.
I see one major coaching change, and a smart one on your part. Doesn't seem like Austin and I are joining the roster anytime soon.
Oh, Brent, they already asked me, but I was busy.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. I mean, he's looking out for your best interest.
They don't ask me anymore.
Hey, you know what he said when he said he's trying to get the best out of his players and for their best interest? Yeah, he ain't ask you to come anywhere.
Wow.
Don't worry.
I thought they just changed the
Man,
rules.
you guys are always welcome. No matter what. Always welcome.
He calls himself Mr. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you know me, man. I was stuffing this in the stat column. Blocks, rebounds, all that.
But absolutely.
Hey, bottom line is, very selfish play here. I still have more points than him in Jacksonville Giants history, and I got a technical foul.
You got a technical foul, too. And that's not something to celebrate, but by all means.
Well, listen, you're a guy playing the NFL. You currently fight for a living in the MMA, and I got the technical foul.
Okay. And what was that for again, though?
That was for wearing a GoPro.
Okay, there you go, then. Yeah. That's very on brand for you. Coach is wearing his Jordans. Getting a T for wearing a GoPro is very brand for you as well.
Yes, it is. All right, Coach Gerard Tucker, keep up the good work, man, and we'll see everybody at home February 26th. That'll be at the University of North Florida, by the way, UNF Arena, 6 o'clock against Palm Beach. Good luck this weekend, first of all, and then we'll see you next weekend.
All right, thank you very much.
You bet, Gerard Tucker. He was awesome, man.
Yeah.
He was, I always say the fun I've said this before because I think I played in 3 games with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
So,
did
of
you
course, you're going to – I just did 1 game.
You just did once.
So, of course, you're going to have more points than me. You play in 3 games.
Yeah.
I would hope,
I at least shared that. I don't have to share that bit of information.
I know. I'll share it for you.
But the funny thing is, like, not everybody likes the fact that I was playing.
Oh,
the opposing team really doesn't like it.
Sure.
Right? And that's why my points started to go down. Because they really did not want me to score. It was a concerted effort.
Yep.
But even some of the guys, you're kind of like, I didn't really fit in the locker room.
Sure.
On a bunch of ABA players. And so they're like, what the hell is this guy? They kind of understood what it was.
Yeah.
But Tuck was always great.
He was cool with you.
He was really cool.
Yeah.
And he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was basically like, follow me. I'll show you where to go.
No, that was cool. I mean, I remember that offered me a contract. I didn't have my agent there, and I'd have a lawyer present, so I wanted to sign something that I didn't know. I don't want to sign anything like that. So
I think it's safe to say I'm officially retired.
Okay.
Maybe I need to go hit a free throw and get double-digit points, though.
There you go.
I'm so greedy.
So what was your highest scoring game?
I had 7 points
in 1 game.
I went 7, then I went 2, then I went none.
Goose egg, huh?
The last one, I really didn't play that much. It was a closer game.
Here come the excuses.
No, I did. I didn't play much, but I thought that 3 was going in. I got 1 shot off. That was it.
Okay.
That guy did not want me to score.
Yeah.
Good
guy
I scored. By the way, the day I scored 7, that guy was like, "Oh, great, we got an intern out here," or something like that. Sure. That guy, and I still put up 7. So screw that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I'm out there, they're like, "Hey, you come from Europe? Where are you playing from?" Because I mean, your height, the size, the skill set, you was probably in the European leagues.
There's no stereotyping going on when I got out on the floor.
No, it's all good, man.
You're the intern. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join the movement to end colon cancer. The annual March to Get Screened 5K is coming up on March 27th. All proceeds benefit the nonprofit Portland Groover Foundation to advance colon cancer research, provide free screenings, and financial assistance. Colon cancer is actually preventable with regular colon screenings. Hundreds of lives have been saved due to the support of our community and the March to Get Screened 5K. Bring the family and join us in downtown Jacksonville on March 27th. To register, donate, or for more information, go to marchtoGetScreened.com.
My days are filled with meetings, so I rarely have time to answer my phone when it rings. I used to miss out on so many new clients just because I couldn't answer their calls. Now, I never miss a call, and my business is booming. All thanks to Smith AI, my virtual receptionist service. The award-winning receptionists at Smith AI answer my calls and schedule appointments. They even make outbound sales calls for me. They're the friendly face of my business while I focus on my work. Visit smith.ai to read 5-star reviews and use code ANSWER for $100 off.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18, my home course. Make it your home course, too.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
The weather is getting better. The Players' Championship, Masters, and more majors are on the way. It's that time of year for Golf Fever. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay a lot for the golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses have raised their rates. You can play for less. The Dream 18 card has even more value in 2022. Discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor as well. Plus, you'll receive free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. $69. That's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charities as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com to order the Dream 18 card, the best discount golf card at the best price in town.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors. With roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis, your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients. And if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is now open for reservations.
Get revved up for the Jacksonville International Auto Show because it's bigger than ever. Friday through Sunday, come down to the Prime Osborne Convention Center to see the latest and greatest new models. With inventory tight across Florida, it's your unique chance to experience the latest models in person. New EVs packed with stunning technologies, crossovers, SUVs and trucks, rare exotics, remarkable classics, even pet adoptions with Subaru, and a lot more. Free parking from ViStar Credit Union, discount coupons at gate gas stations. Get your tickets now at jacksautoshow.com.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Every day, canine officers and their canine partners risk their lives to keep us safe. Now they need our support more than ever. The state of Florida has approved the sale of a new Canines United license plate. $25 from each plate sold will help fund essential equipment like trauma kits, heat alarms, and bulletproof vests, as well as training for canine units across Florida. But 3,000 tags must be pre-sold before they can be produced. So please visit caninesunited.org today to order yours and help protect those who protect and serve our community.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible at Staples. I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect. Also possible. With Staples Print Big Promise, your small business marketing will make a big impact. And right now, get 20% off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
Got a party of 10 coming in, and we need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, because they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Let me ask you something. Are you tired of hearing no? It's kind of a bummer, right? Nobody likes to hear no. So then let me ask you the obvious. Are you ready to hear yes? Then you better get to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Yes, Arlington has 350 pre-owned on the lot and ready to test drive. Yes, Arlington has all makes and models. Yes, Arlington will help you get financed. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. One last question. Are you going to find the vehicle you really want? Yes. Just shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Running a small business means just that, always running.
Whew, you're not kidding.
Which is why this holiday, while the other guys, not mentioning any names, are kicking it back, we'll be kicking it into gear by leaving our doors open for you. So whatever the ing you need this holiday, whether it's packing, shipping, or mailboxing, we'll be right here waiting.
Now that's an ing worth celebrating.
The UPS Store, every ing for small business, all in one place.
The UPS Store.
The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. We can help you save on the right oil for your vehicle. Right now, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Castrol Edge Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $35.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
You showed you could win against one of the best teams in the East, and you did that without your new acquisition, James Harden, who the next time you play may be playing with you. What's that anticipation like?
I mean, he usually says scare hours. I say scare minutes. For all the, 48 minutes we're going to be on the floor, all together. So I'm just excited about it. And, I'm just excited for us to be healthy. And, I got to keep doing what I've been doing. And I'm sure my teammates are going to follow. But, we're pretty excited about what we can accomplish.
Is that Joel Embiid versus
Yes,
Milwaukee
it
Bucks?
is.
Nice, Casey. Real nice.
So the other option was Giannis talking about how bad they are. Which would you prefer?
I mean, I do like the accountability, but yeah, you're right.
Bucks are struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay. They just didn't play well last night.
It's one game. Jeez.
I know, but come on. It's an attitude game. It's two of the best teams in the East going at it.
There's a lot of best teams in the East.
Yeah, there's a lot of best teams there's a couple of teams in the West that you should watch out for, but the East is a little more, I think, front to bottom.
Like ESPN used to do those Did You Know? You remember that? You guys too young for that?
Was it
you
during
don't
the
remember
Sports
that,
Center?
Gosh, you don't remember it. Wow.
Was it like during the commercials?
It's part of Sports Center. It's like
Did You Know?
It's like Did You Know?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Is that the same guy that does the home, like the college game day? College game day brought to you by Home Depot.
Yeah, you kind of have a little bit of the flavor of his voice in there, and so it probably
him.
is.
I'm him.
Like, I don't know. That's a good question.
Me the whole time.
See, what we call in the business, we call those guys like the voice of God.
Hey, what?
Well, we kind of say that, like,
okay.
Obviously a little flippantly, but
yeah,
because you send it, like, even when you watch the news, like, everybody has their own.
Yeah.
And now there are some that do you're never going to have the same guy in the same market.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a guy, here's what I always picture that guy. He's got these great pipes, right?
Sure.
And so he's on like a porch in Wyoming all day. And then he goes inside for 10 minutes and he tracks what you send him.
Yeah.
In an email.
Yeah.
And then he goes back out and on the porch in Wyoming. Like, that's his job.
Yeah.
Like, he can be in Wyoming.
For sure.
And he's got a little studio.
Yep.
And he tracks it. And he's the voice for a station in Jacksonville and a station in here and there. What's interesting is, like, I feel like ESPN might not have many changes in their voice for a while. Like, he might be the same voice for, like, a long time.
Him.
To your point.
Yeah.
Might go way back.
Yeah.
I haven't really paid closely attention. Like, we go through them. Like, in our stations, I think it's part of, like, rebranding sometimes. They want to freshen them up. Some of those guys are great,
that guy's
too.
face, yeah.
I know, you never know what they are.
College game day, built to you by Home Depot.
Well, and the greatest thing, like, it's awesome, man, when those guys, because some of those guys they just got awesome voices and their inflection. And so, like, we'll get the raw copy of that sometimes. Like, we used to have somebody do our opens for, maybe it's a big Jags special, right?
Yeah.
And so the guy would be like 5 minutes. It's like 6 lines.
Yeah.
It'd be like 5 minutes of recorded stuff. And he's, like, trying it all different ways, and he'll be like, no, didn't like that. And it's really funny to listen to him, like, through the whole thing. It's not edited.
Sure.
So, but their ability to, like, really catch stuff and the inflection, the good ones are really good at it. So it's a little inside the business. That's the voice of God.
I felt like there's that one movie guy forever, like the movie trailer guy. Like, he would do everyone, like, in a world,
Yeah,
like
yeah. It probably was.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that guy's making a mint.
You think he's making a lot of money?
Oh, God, yeah.
I have
What
a
a
meeting.
life.
I have a meeting with our voice of God here coming up in a couple days.
Who's that?
I don't even know. I don't know.
I can tell you. I just don't know.
Okay.
Am I allowed to tell you?
No, I probably wouldn't.
Oh.
Because I don't know if you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might have
What,
already
is he-
said too much.
He works here.
Is he okay?
He has an office.
Why can't we?
Oh, yeah.
We
ours
can't say his
works
name.
here. I don't know what we're supposed to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're treat him like Lord Voldemort here. We can't say his name.
Like who?
My bad.
Like, I will say, like, ours on TV.
If you're gonna say it, at least say it right.
Like, the
So
TV one
N?
doesn't work. Like, he's not in the building. Like, our radio one's in the building.
Yeah.
But our
Okay.
TV one's not like us. Seriously, our TV one's probably really in Montana or Wyoming.
So,
Like,
like,
I'm convinced that's where they all live.
is that something that you're born with, or do you work on that skill?
I think some people are born with a really good voice, right?
Is
But
there
I
like
think
a combine
it's
or
definitely a work
Is there a combine? Like
No.
a draft? Well, how do you just put some tape out there? And
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think some people are better than others and if you have a really good voice, then you can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like just depends which industry you're going for, if it's entertainment or if it's hard news, if it's sports, if it's, but I would imagine there's like a cream of the crop of them too, that are really good at it. So I don't know how much they make. It would be fascinating to know.
Yeah.
I think that should be like public record, what everybody makes. Like,
I mean,
like every profession, like give us a range.
Well, I mean, there's averages. Like, you can look that up. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, but for every profession, like you can go look up what the voice guy makes.
I mean, I'm sure I could type in like on Google like voice actor or like, what would you call it?
Voice actor. Commercial voice actor.
I mean, I'm not going to type in voice of God, so what do you guys want me to say?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they're going to probably give you like a Hollywood guy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they're not going to give you the guy like that does like local news.
Radio voiceover guy? Or what do you?
That's fine. Try it.
Okay. This is riveting sports radio.
I know, but everybody's interested right now. Now they're on the edge of their seat, wondering how much this guy makes.
Boom, here we go. All right, so radio voiceover guy salary. For instance, if you're providing voiceover for commercials, you can expect to earn anywhere from $100 for local radio commercial or $10,000 for a national TV commercial.
Wow, there you go.
So 10 grand per commercial.
If you're on the national
If you're on the national scene.
That's pretty good. That's a nice house in Wyoming.
Yeah. I mean, you probably own the state at that price, yeah. It's Wyoming. Come on.
But anyway, back to Did You Know?
Did you know?
The NBA All-Star Game is this weekend.
It is. Yes.
Is that the best kept secret in sports?
It's one of them. I mean, yeah.
Why is this such a secret? Like, why is there no hype?
Because what? I mean, you know, the dunk contest.
That's
okay.
why you just said it. The first thing you
dunk
go to is
contest?
dunk contest.
Oh,
Dunk
of course,
contest
yeah,
is like
it's-
doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather watch TikTok videos of dunks. That's how they should just make the dunk contest a TikTok video contest.
Do you know where it's going to be this weekend? Do you know who's hosting?
No idea.
Cleveland.
Cleveland's
It's in
hosting
Cleveland.
it?
Yeah.
Why? Like, why did they decide Cleveland
Because
was that?
because it varies every year.
But
It's
how does
basketball.
Cleveland get to the top of the list? Like, I'm with Brian on this one.
Like,
well, it's
freaking
basketball.
February in Cleveland.
They play indoors.
Do you want people to go?
They play indoors. What are you talking about? What does it
I'm
matter?
I'm with you on this one.
What does it matter?
Like I said, it doesn't. That's why. The NBA
Yeah, it
All-Star
doesn't
weekend
matter.
doesn't matter.
Not really.
That's what basically we're saying.
I mean, guys gonna get, like it's like a big party time and everything, and you party inside. Like, what do you want me to do? Go on a boat and like?
If I have to take
have
2
pina
connectors
coladas?
to get there, it's not worth it.
Yeah, where do you party in Cleveland? Are the flats still a thing in Cleveland?
I don't know, man.
LeBron left twice for a reason.
Oh,
Both times.
wow. Cleveland getting some hate.
Yeah.
And they're doing pretty well, too.
Well, they're having a nice year,
Yeah,
but that's not why they're having the All-Star
The
game.
audacity on you guys.
Yeah, I can't believe how much an afterthought. Again, we're in a quiet time kind of right now in sports. You'd think this would come to the forefront.
Yeah.
Like maybe they should have like bought a commercial in the Super Bowl or something and advertised it.
Jeez. I mean, like, okay.
worked for Coinbase.
Here's it did. Well, that's another thing. I mean, like, you're not gonna tune in and watch it at all. No. I mean, Steph Curry's out of the 3-point contest, so like that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I will say this. A lot of people don't like the All-Star game because it's going to be 200 to 194.
Yeah. And Giannis is going to have about 80 points.
But I do think I love watching their athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really is showcased in that game because there's no friction,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they'll really do some crazy stuff. And I actually think the game is more entertaining, like for a peek in, not for, you're not going to watch it front to back. You're going to see the same stuff, but you can watch it for a half hour and be like, gosh, these guys are really good and really good athletes. But yeah, I think all the extra stuff. I mean, I'll tell you what. What's as good a draw as 3-point contest, All-Star festivities weekend, and the dunk contest now?
A golf event?
No, it's what's like Charles and Shaq going to say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that is I'm not saying they're saving the NBA. The NBA is popular enough. But if you ask me, like, what I watch, I'd be like, are they announcing it? Or are they part of the team? Then that's why I watch.
I assume they're going to be. Yeah, and they are going to be part of the team, I believe.
Because right now, the best thing in the NBA over the last week was when they were interviewing LeBron and KD about picking the teams.
Pick the teams? That was good.
That was the funniest thing. Like, that was the best thing in the NBA in the last week.
That was good. Yeah, it was hilarious.
So,
I mean, I'd also say maybe the trade deadline was entertaining, but.
Yeah, I guess it was a big trade.
Yeah, a couple of them.
All right. That being said, are we slam poetrying it?
Yeah, I wish Jeff Bezos would make good on his word and send me a new bongo, but we'll wait.
Have you tried? You think he's just listening to the show?
Well, no, I sent him an email. It's probably in space or doing something else.
Yeah. Maybe you should send his ex-wife. She's got half the...
That's Brent A.S. Jax. Hey, don't go after Jeff Bezos now, man. That's a powerful dude.
Yeah,
but that's a
she
powerful
has a
dude.
lot of power. She's a powerful woman.
Yeah, and Jeff Bezos is a powerful dude
And
too.
by the way, she's a little more charitable. It seems like.
I'll tell you right now, people. I'm not going to call it Jeff Bezos, and I won't call it the Russians because I feel like those are two powerful conglomerates that I'm not trying to offend or anything.
How about like Elon Musk? You okay with?
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
What's
nerd?
he gonna do?
Hey, nerd.
What's that guy away like 5.7 billion in 10 days last year?
What is that guy gonna do, huh? No, I'm not worried about Elon Musk. I respect Elon Musk though, man.
But you're really concerned about that International Olympic Committee judge
dude,
team, aren't you?
I'm a little. That's another story. And Elon Musk, go ahead and drop the Cybertruck. It got delayed again, by the way.
Delayed.
The truck they're making, 2023.
I wish the truck looked a little better. I love the idea of it.
That wasn't the final look.
Oh, it
was.
wasn't.
They're modifying it.
All right, that's
good. Yeah. But 2023, like I said.
All right.
Are you gonna go hybrid event or like electric or? Nah, just screw the environment. I like it, Brent.
Yeah. Not there yet.
When you got money, gas is like $4 a gallon. That's all right though. All right, here we go. You all ready? Slam poetry. What session? What slam piece is
7.
this? 7. All right.
Snapping. Get ready, Jacksonville.
All right, here we go. What was James Harden wearing? Sleeveless suit looking like Show Enough, a.k.a. that boss. Good afternoon, Giannis. Welcome to Culver's. On that 50 burger, would you like ketchup or tzatziki sauce?
Like some ice cream from there.
Because it's Greek. Culver's goes hard now.
Yeah,
you got it, and it's starting in Wisconsin. Hey, there's layers to these. You gotta pay attention. Boston on an absolute roll. Call them Tony the Tiger. They're great. Yeah, I don't care if Philly beat Milwaukee. They still lost to Boston. They got beat by 48. Ugh. Oh. DeMar DeRozan, a radio flyer, call him a red wagon. I know the trade line deadline is done, but there's still fire. Check free agency because there's a Slavonian dragon. Who gets that reference? Probably nobody. That was a deep dive.
I got the wagon reference.
Anybody want to take a guess who the Slavonian dragon is? Gordon Dragic is a free agent. Dragic. Yeah, whatever, Brent. You got it. Yeah, nicely done. Lake Show is struggling. That's what you get when you trade Westbrook for Lonzo Ball. The Lakers are so bad, I saw Matthew Stafford turn the other direction during their Western Conference Ball. That's a bang. That's a bang.
Just one question.
What's up?
Will we pay the remaining salary cap?
Yeah, I think him and his wife are taking care of it for sure. Back-to-back Laker burns. I'm out here vibing on my best. Shh. Everybody be quiet. Anthony Davis got hurt again. He's out and he needs some rest. Get better, Anthony. Ja Feel, Ja Real. Grizz won 8 of their last 10. Called Captain Rick with the trophy on the reel. Murray stayed in the house and he's tightening the MVP race. You know he's all about the prestige, like a 2 out of 3 autograph. Jamar Chase. Banger! Banger! Banger!
Captain Rick mentioned too.
Oh, you better believe it, man. All right. Joker is playing at an MVP type level. Hey, why so serious? Hey, Jared Allen just made the All-Star team. Who does he play for, Brent? I'm just curious.
He used to play for Kentucky. Maybe.
Casey?
I know who he plays for.
Brent, big guess.
Pelicans.
That's correct. Cleveland Cavaliers. Nicely done. Well put. T-Wolves caught some fire. KAT closing the haters' mouth shut. How is Brent going to call himself the butcher when his guys can't even make the first round of cuts? How's that guy doing today? That's another host. That's a trifecta. That's a turkey on the Bible Earths. Turkey on the Bible Earths. Oh, man. Rockets still suck, but at least they got one with Dennis Schroeder. Shout out to his dependability, unlike Casey when he can't even bring in a top loader. Oh, vibe yourself. Vibe yourself. 4 vibes. 4 vibes in the day. Woo. And that was slam poetry session, whatever it was.
7. Wow. I'm out of gas. Whew, that's exhausting.
Just going to finish up my biscuit here quick.
By the way, as the Iceman, I make an executive decision. Next week there will be no slam poetry because Austin has to conserve energy for the fight next Sunday.
Did you want to take over? You want to do it? Okay. No. Casey?
No, it wouldn't be good.
Okay.
Terrific.
Thank
Another
you.
terrific. I mean, how hasn't this thing gone like crazy viral? I mean, the slam poetry is the best part of the week.
I got to start sharing it some more, I guess.
Yeah, we got to get it out there.
I got it.
Well, make it its own page.
Yeah.
Its own podcast.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
How about this wouldn't even fit on TikTok? It's got to be like 10 seconds or less.
No, I think it's like a minute on TikTok. Casey, you're on there. You know what's up.
You're on there? You're on there, Casey.
I don't have an account, but like I watch the videos.
Watches videos. Is it a minute?
It can be like 3 minutes.
Really?
Wow.
3 minutes.
The problem is though, like you got to think about like phones. Like everything now is edited to like a simple, like it has to fit the phone.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like the way that the regular show is, you guys fit the phone. But
Okay.
when you go to slam poetry and I put the picture in there, you don't fit necessarily the straight up and down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear you.
In terms of TikTok, you can post it on Twitter and like you click on it's fine, but TikTok won't take it.
We'll work on it.
And then we're still going to open mic night one night at a cafe in Jacksonville.
We
too,
got
by
to
the
do
way,
it,
guys. So
where is that? Where are our options?
I'm keeping tabs on
downtown.
UNF. They do it. I
They do
texted
it.
you guys that one time.
UNF
you
does it
remember
too. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Us strolling up to UNF. They're like, what is happening?
We're all wearing turtlenecks, by the way. We're all wearing turtlenecks, and I need like, what do you call those hats? That I don't, you know, like
a newsboy hat.
Kind of like that, yeah. But it's more
like,
of a, I don't know what you'd call them. It's kind of like a newsboy, but it's got like the little thing at the top. I'll look it up.
Button at the top.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's almost more like beanie.
Kinda. Yes. There we go.
All right, NBA Slam Poetry, Session 7.
Yes.
If you missed the last 6, let's just go back and look every Friday.
Every Friday.
Here on the show. Mm-hmm. Kind of like in my mind playing, what's this going to sound like and look like from the Players' Championship in a few weeks on a Friday? Hey, how's that going to work?
Do you have to use our golf voices the whole time?
Golf voice.
It's going to be kind of hard,
Slam
bro.
Poetry.
It's all about emotion, you know?
There we go, PGA Tour poetry for that. Then.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm not going to write many of those names.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly to mostly cloudy, breezy today. A few showers developing with temperatures reaching the 70s before turning cooler late this afternoon. Clearing tonight, dropping to about 50. And it becomes mostly sunny tomorrow, but breezy. It'll be cooler for your Saturday with highs in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. A half carat to 10. Beard's Diamonds has the lowest prices guaranteed.
The weather is getting better. The Players' Championship, Masters, and more majors are on the way. It's that time of year for golf fever. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay a lot for the golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses have raised their rates. You can play for less. The Dream 18 card has even more value in 2022. Discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor as well. Plus, you'll receive free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. $69. That's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charities as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com to order the Dream 18 card, the best discount golf card at the best price in town.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It could be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead, so you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
You're pregnant. How far?
1 month, 2. No doctor yet. I can't afford it.
Protect yourself and your baby. The health department can help you out. Test for STDs.
I don't have diseases.
You don't know. You don't always have symptoms. STDs make you and your baby sick.
I don't want my baby sick.
No one cares more about your baby than you.
I'm calling my county health department.
A message from the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin. And if you know anything about me, you know that I'm always on the go. Whether it's co-hosting 2 radio shows, working out, or being a professional MMA fighter, living an active lifestyle means that I need to do the things necessary in order to perform at my best. And one of the most important things you can do is keep your body hydrated. And this is where Body Armor comes in. When you talk about Body Armor Light, you're talking about a low-calorie sports drink to hydrate your active lifestyle. It's made with no artificial sweeteners and no sugar added, and plus it's got potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, vitamins, and coconut water. Think about it like this. Your body is a vehicle, and you're only going to perform as well as the fuel that you put inside it. You can choose to drink just regular water or maybe some sugary sports drink, or you can optimize your body, optimize your performance, and take care of your rest and recovery with Body Armor and Body Armor Light. If it's good enough for NBA players, NFL players, race car drivers, professional fighters, soccer stars, then it's going to be good enough for you. Drink something more than a sports drink. Drink Body Armor.
You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rocket.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Find great hires without the hassle with Indeed. Our hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates. Just sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Hiring for a job can be a job itself. Luckily, Indeed makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates. Just sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, it's Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Hey, man. Equipment, I'm buying at the same store everybody else is, so my boy's just doing a good job with it. So it's really cool to see Brexton having a good time. He loves it, he enjoys it. About a year in, he realized it's like, okay, let's watch film, let's look at video, how can I get better, what did I do wrong, how can I improve? And so that's been really good to see him just going through the growth channels of what it takes to be a better driver and really want to learn. So that's been very cool, and I take all the credit on that one, none to Kurt.
That's Kyle Busch. Got to be one of the favorites going to Daytona on Sunday. We were in Daytona yesterday. Of course, Daytona 500 coming up Sunday on Fox 30. We'll have Road to Victory Lane special. And tonight, the trucks race. Tomorrow, Xfinity race. Last night was the duels. It was Keselowski in the 6 car. It was Buescher in the 17 car. After a crash by Logano on the last lap in Duel 2. Duel 1 was pretty boring, by the way. You could tell they didn't want to have to be fixing a lot of cars with the lack of parts, like Stuart Weber was telling us last couple of days. And you could kind of tell that was the case. Kyle Busch, 16-1 odds to win the Daytona 500. I mean, it's a crapshoot, really, at the 500. You never know. You got Michael McDowell winning it last year. So what do you think? You got any picks? Anybody for the Daytona 500? Who are you throwing out there?
Gotta do some research. Casey?
Where's the research been? Does anybody read my text, yes or no?
I did.
Today I was a little busy, and I apologize. I didn't read them today.
We'll give you a couple more minutes because I want to refresh anyway.
Okay.
The fact that James Robinson came on the show about an hour ago, and I think it's pretty big, significant. It's significant. It surprised me, unless I just missed it. But they don't go around updating injuries, right?
Yeah.
In the NFL anyway. But I think a really good news, what James told us, is that he plans to be ready before the season and following kind of like that Cam Akers path. And he'll have more time than Akers even had, I think, to get back. But he's already walking around. And I asked him basically in the context of, hey, do you think this might be a mid-season thing? And he almost, I feel like, came through the phone and was like, what are you talking about, mid-season? I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
And so that's really good news for James coming off an Achilles. And really good news for the Jags that they could have him for the entire year. Problem is, like, if you have him in, like, say, even late October, if that's when he was coming back, you don't know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
If you have him in August and even have to be careful with him in August and even has to get back into it a little bit in September, well, then you might still have him October, November, December, kind of full go and back comfortable with everything. So I think that's a really good sign. And, my gosh, modern medicine with the Achilles is just totally different, it feels like, than it was. Cam Akers, one of the latest examples, and now maybe James Robinson. I think he suffered that in December. Yeah, it would have been like mid-December. So to be able to get back in time for the season coming off Achilles, what a nice story that would be for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I still think they add depth to the running backs room, but I know we floated around Cam Akers, but when James tells us that, were you a little surprised still? Like, okay, that's actually his plan too, is to be able to make it back before the season? Or did you kind of think in your mind that, yeah, he's got a chance to be back by the season?
No, I mean, I figured that he was going to be back sooner rather than later. So I kind of figured, I mean, it may not be as fast as Cam Akers, but it would be in that realm.
Yeah, see, I was not. And maybe that's why, I mean, even the way I asked the question, I think internally I was just like, I don't think he'll be ready to go for the start of the season. So, you know, you get two guys coming off injury, a lot of question marks, if we're being honest, right? About what ETN and James are going to bring to the table, coming off significant injuries for running backs. And again, we're talking about a guy in ETN who we've never seen play at this level.
Yes.
So how are they going to use him? The running back room is a curious one, but I think a little bit of positive news here today that James thinks he can be a part of it right off the rip of this 2022 season with Doug Pederson and company. So that's kind of the most significant thing here happened on the show today, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. You can go back and listen to the interview with James on YouTube. Subscribe, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Subscribe on the podcast as well, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. One other note about that, if you missed it, he said even their trainers and doctors and people that are kind of helping out the rehab process, they're in conversations with Cam Akers, people, and how he did it too. And so, and by the way, Akers seemed like pretty good when he came back.
No, I mean,
he didn't look like he was
hampering it or
right?
nursing it. No, not at all. I mean, he was fumbling, but that's not because of the Achilles.
Well, but that was interesting. It's like, wow, I can't believe people are coming back. And then I felt like it was less of a story. Like, wow, he looks pretty good even though he's back.
For sure.
Because again, I mean, listen, it's natural, and we've seen it around here. You know it. Yes. When you come off injury,
especially an Achilles, man.
Yeah, Achilles, ACL, those kind. I don't know if Liz Frank injury will be like this, especially early in a career like ETN. But when you come off those kind of injuries, then you really, it's a little bit of wait and see.
Yeah.
Again, I always use Derek Marks. Marks, he had plenty of time to heal, but he's still, like, his first half of that next year, you could tell he wasn't trusting it.
Yeah.
And just the way he moved, like, you could see it. Like, the naked eye could see it. You didn't have to be a football guru to see it. And that was at, like, a defensive line position. So imagine some of these kind of injuries at a skill position. Well, it's even more so when you're cutting and everything else. So we'll see what happens. But that's kind of the big news of the day, in my estimation.
For sure. So I have my NASCAR pick locked in. And also, I guess Floyd's guy did pretty well, huh?
You made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got a little fortunate, but they made it. So that's good. Save your pick. We'll do the pick. Football at 5 coming up, but we've got a lot more than just football. We've got a little football conversation, including the new staff today. What kind of difference can a guy like Press Taylor and Mike McCoy and Jim Bob Cooter make around Trevor Lawrence go along with Doug Pederson? We'll have our Daytona 500 pick. We open up some cards. Is it a hot box? Do we have another moment here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690? Football at 5 coming up next.
I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
2022 Acura deals have been unleashed with 2.9% APR at your First Coast Acura dealers. Upgrade to the award-winning 2022 RDX crossover SUV and save when you shop deals at firstcoastacuradealers.com. Offer excludes type Bypass Edition.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up, I'm letting you never coming back to smoke. I'll never come back, never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
The Players is proud to support Volunteers in Medicine, free medical clinics providing primary and specialty care to working uninsured adults in Northeast Florida. It's 18 days until the Players.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
Steve Lennox, Major League Baseball, making the announcement today. Spring training games will not begin until at least March 5th. MLB, in part of its statement, said on Monday members of the owners' bargaining committee will join an in-person meeting with the Players Association and remain every day next week to negotiate and work hard towards starting the season on time. The college football playoff will remain at 4 teams until the current 12-year contract expires after the 2025 season. With this decision, the 10 FBS conferences and Notre Dame will forfeit roughly $450 million in potential revenue. Leroy Butler, recently elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, joining Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max today. He was asked if the Packers can keep the team together in the offseason.
Well, they'll make it work. But then you're going to have to go to some guys and say, listen, I need you to take a pay cut. And most guys will give you the side eye and say, wait a minute. I only make like $7 million. You want me to take $2 million, but you're giving the quarterback an extension and giving him $50 million. Those are tough decisions. That's on every team. All quarterbacks do this.
Former Packer Leroy Butler today with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max here on ESPN Radio.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
No, I still have full intention of doing that, calling plays, and that's really that's what I love to do. Throughout the course of the week, that's how I study and help with game plans, and then ultimately, on game day. But look, the way I call plays, it's still a very collaborative approach. It's me and Press game day. We're sitting there talking, and we're he's giving me ideas and suggestions, and I'm going to, Press is probably going to take some stuff from Jim Bob Cooter, Mike McCoy. They're going to get together between series. I mean, that's how this whole thing works on game day. And at the end of the day, it's coming together and making the right call at the right time.
That is Doug Pederson on his staff and how they're going to work together. Mike McCoy, Jim Bob Cooter, Press Taylor, along with Doug and really Trevor, if it's almost like a 5-headed monster. Because Kind of is. Feels that way.
Yeah.
Like I really feel like the experience of McCoy as a head coach kind of elevates him a little bit in my mind, where it's not just like Pederson and Press Taylor. Like, to me, Pederson is Pederson. Obviously got a Super Bowl trophy, is very good. Press Taylor feels like, at least in Pederson's mind, and I know this has been a little bit, I don't know about controversial, but it's been a little polarizing. I think from the folks up in Philly or others, like I've seen some people make judgments like, hey, I'm not a big fan of Press Taylor. Some people like, I'm a big fan of Press Taylor. Obviously, Doug Pederson's a big fan of Press Taylor. We'll see around here, but he's like that rising star guy. He's a young guy. And obviously his brother's getting it done in Cincinnati, so he's got some pedigree there. I thought he was impressive today, listening to him. And so he might be that rising star. McCoy obviously is a guy who's done it before. And then Jim Bob Cooter, again, if you go back just a few years ago, he was like on people's radar to be a head coach. So that's why I think all those guys they're not just guys by position. I think they're going to have influence instead of just Doug and Press Taylor.
No, for sure. I mean, you've heard the word collaboration a lot. To me, it's just like I've echoed, these past couple of weeks, seems like a month now, where I'm all for the collaboration, but there has to be a clear chain of who's calling the shots, who's doing what, because, sometimes in terms of collaboration, whether it's coaching staffs, whether it's bands, it doesn't always go, the way you want it to go. So I'm all for getting more eyes and more opinions and things, as long as you know who you're working with and it works out.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I thought Doug was pretty good on that today, by the way. He's like, listen, they're going to contribute and game plan and put things in, and then it'll be up to Press and I really to enact that game plan and make the final decisions. He actually looped Press Taylor into that. A lot of respect for Press Taylor, young coach. And like I said, it would be great if, rising star coach, and that comes to fruition. He's right here working with Trevor. I mean, that means they're doing well, and he can be a head coach in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Somebody's
for sure.
trying to pick him off.
Yeah.
That's what you want to happen. You want somebody to want to pick him off and take him from your staff, because guess what? That means you're doing pretty well. So I love – and I think Doug was clear on that, too. I thought that was good. Like, he was right out in front with it and said, hey, we're going to all collaborate, and then we're going to make the decisions. Like, that's where the decision tree comes from. And I doubled down on by the way, what he said a couple weeks ago about, will you really, like, just relinquish plays in the middle of a game? And he explained that a little further, that, yeah, he's willing to do that. He actually brought up Andy Reid a little bit of how much input they had, and then who's calling the actual play. But every play is coming through the headset, and you're hearing it. And so he elaborated on that. If you get a chance to, maybe we'll hear from him in just a moment on what he said about that part of the process.
Let me ask you this. Excluding the coaches that got fired, who's the last coach of the Jaguars that got poached to another team in an upgraded position?
Whew. Good question. You got to go. I'm trying to think of that 17 team, just because would anybody have gotten poached, right? So you had Doug, you had Hackett, who he eventually fired. You had was the offensive line coach. Warhop wasn't the guy then. Kind of forget. Todd Wash was on the defensive side.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
It's been a while.
Be somebody. I would think there's somebody, but maybe there wasn't. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and research that.
Cool.
But to be honest with you, like, that's the only year they would have.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, guys have been,
they found jobs elsewhere.
I
mean, everybody has found jobs elsewhere.
Of course.
But, yeah, that's a really good call. Like, who's like calling up Doug Marrone, Tom Club, and be like, hey, I want this guy, and I'm going to bump him. Like Mike Caldwell was in Tampa.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Was the linebackers coach. I want you to be a DC. And that's a great call. But I think now there's in play. Now, they got to get the job done, all right? They got to show it. But now I think a guy like Press Taylor is in play to potentially, if he's, I don't call him a whiz kid, but it's really like this rising. There's a lot of people that like that. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, like a month ago, I'm not sure anybody knew who he was. All of a sudden, he's a Minnesota Vikings head coach.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people are looking for, right? But I think Caldwell's another great example. He's a defensive guy who played in the league, who's been around some good people in the league, and if he can come here and have success too, well, he's going to go from linebackers coach to defensive coordinator for a few years, and then boom, maybe land a head coaching gig if he does well.
Yeah.
So,
that just happened
question.
to Joe Cullen. It happened to Joe Cullen in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Become defensive coordinator.
That's a great question. Really good one. I want to think a little bit more on it now. Who else that could be? Let's hear about somebody says, I hope Mike Smith isn't the answer. Dang. And Mike Smith go directly from here to Atlanta?
I think so.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good call, by the way. I didn't catch who said that on Twitter, but that's that might have been it. Well, definitely from a head coaching standpoint, that bit. But we're even talking like, has somebody gone from linebacker coach to defense coordinator, or from running backs coach to offense coordinator?
Yeah.
A guy who maybe was on this track and still could be on this track as a Keenan McCardell, but it's not going to directly come from what he did in Jacksonville.
Correct.
So that's a really good question. My gosh, why do we exacerbate or accentuate the negative around here?
Sorry, man. Sorry, man.
You don't think even a greater study is like, can you find a team that's gone all the way back to Mike Smith to do that? Or is it more common than we think? Because, listen, these jobs aren't jumping open every day, right? There's still only, if you count them all, there's 96 of them, potentially. Yeah. Head coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, then you can throw special teams in if you want to. But, there's not a lot of jobs. They're not coming open all the time. And so I bet if you go back a decade, you'll find a lot of teams that haven't had that type of promotion.
Yeah.
But it does. But I would even say that Jim Bob Cooter was in the mix from Detroit to, I think he was in the mix for head coaching jobs.
Yes.
Jags haven't even had that guy.
No.
They had to do, Hackett had to go from here to Green Bay to get that.
Correct.
So that's a really good call. Let's hear from Doug Pederson, by the way, on the calling of the plays, which, again, we heard this couple weeks ago, and I just thought it was pretty interesting. He was like, hey, if I don't feel like I'm getting the job done, I'll hand it off to somebody. I've never heard a coach say that. It's probably more common than I think.
Yes.
But he admitted to that, and that's where Press Taylor really could come into action. Here's what he said.
You don't physically take the headset off because we got the communicators and stuff that they can't switch out that fast. But I've done that. I've asked the coordinator to give me the play call, and I still have the communicator to call the play. But they're giving me the play in my headset. It's a lot like Coach Reed and I in Kansas City. He called the plays, but he called them through me, right? I was the coordinator and I was the one communicating. So it's just a little bit of the reverse role there. And yeah, listen, I'm if it's not working and I'm struggling to find a play, I'm all for giving that up and letting the coordinator do it.
Yeah, so that's Doug Pederson talking about that, and I like that. I think I think it takes away some of the ego of it all. He understands it. Now, the only other part of that is you got to realize you're not doing a great job, which is tough. I mean, I guess you can look up at the scoreboard. But when do you make that decision?
That's still a hard pill to swallow, yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's still that's pretty good stuff now. If you can admit, you can be vulnerable enough to know and hold the accountability and be like, listen, man, whatever I thought was going to work today isn't working that well.
Yeah.
Let's get it through your eyes a little bit and see if we can jumpstart this thing. That's pretty good. That's like going to a backup quarterback sometimes.
And that's a benefit of having a collective where those guys can come to you and say, hey, we're not doing so well. We might want to go a different direction.
And a collective that you really trust.
Correct.
Right? That'd be really wild to watch. And if it unfolds that way, there's going to be games where it doesn't work out great.
Yeah.
And so will we see that actually, or can we feel that take place? I don't know. I don't know if they'll admit that after a game, post game, whatever.
We had a good, I think this might be the one. That stat boy, Saleh. Robert Saleh.
Yeah, he went from.
But did he?
No, that's a good call. He was linebacker coach here.
But then was he
with Gus?
But then was he defensive coordinator right away?
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he went right to San Fran to be defense coordinator.
Okay, there you go then. All right.
Yeah, good call.
It's not so bad.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, good. I feel better.
Was Saleh with the Jags in 17? Or did he go with Gus? Or didn't he go to San Francisco in 17? I think he did. I think he went to San Francisco in 17. But yeah, that's a really good call. I guess that wasn't as long ago as I thought.
In 17, he went to San Fran.
Yeah, so when Gus left,
yes,
Gus goes to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Saleh gets promoted from a linebacker coach here
to defensive coordinator there.
Yeah, and because mostly it's not like the Jags could have promoted him.
Yeah,
really would have been an interesting thing, right? If the Jags let's just say got rid of Todd Wash, which sounds terrible, but they didn't. Really they promoted Todd Wash, or no, he was already defensive coordinator. And so they kept him because in Gus's last year, I think Todd was a defensive coordinator. And then Todd keeps that job. But if they decided to move on and they elevate Saleh at the time, would we be standing here right now with Robert Saleh as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oof, that's a good question.
That's pretty wild, right? Given their lack of success, I don't know how much could he have controlled from the defensive coordinator position.
Yeah.
How much the way they evaporated their talent on defense, like with the Jans and the Ramseys, he wouldn't have been able to control that from the DC. It's not like Todd Wash wanted to get rid of all that talent either.
Correct.
So it would have been a different story for Saleh as well. So that's a good call right there. Let's get South Beach Gary in real quick here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. South Beach Gary, what's happening?
Brent, Austin, Casey, no more hemming or hawing. I need your prediction for the winner of the Great American Race.
Who do you have?
I got Kevin Harvick. That's my man.
Okay. All right, Kevin Harvick.
He races for Tony Stewart.
Yeah,
Tony Stewart was always my driver.
Okay, Kevin Harvick, 20-1 odds. South Beach Gary, you got one yet?
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr.
I put $1,000 of your money on it, Brent.
I like that.
That's fine. I'll take it.
He's good for it. He's fine.
1,000 pennies.
He's good for it. I'm going Martin Truex Jr.
Okay.
I really like Logano, even though now his car is going to go to the backup car. I'm going to go the middle of the pack, though. I'm picking a long shot. I don't think he's won a race since he was with Danica Patrick. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Larry Bird type of odds, 33-1.
Okay.
Case?
I'll take William Byron.
Okay, all right.
Is that a golfer or is that a NASCAR driver? That sounds like a golfer.
There you go, South Beach Gary,
William
Daytona
Byron.
500.
Hey, Brent, I don't know. My prediction was Scheffler for the tournament. I don't know what he shot today. I know he was 5 under yesterday.
Well, it doesn't matter because Brent's guy can't even make a cut, so you're in.
Well, no, but remember, Casey changed the rules. It's the two
that's
picks.
right. My bad.
You guys were actually first and second place, I think.
Oh, wow.
So how about that? All right, South Beach Gary, have a good weekend, man. Enjoy watching that golf. Football at 5 rolls on with a little Daytona and golf mixed in.
I like it.
We got to do cards because you got to get out of here early.
Got to leave a little early today.
Before I go there, we talked about the Russian Olympian figure skater.
Yes.
Finished 4th.
Yeah.
Why can't you help? Like the Olympic Committee's all messed up, right?
Yes.
I didn't watch it. I was at Daytona.
Yeah.
And so I was watching the Twitter, and some people
It was
were
too
like,
late for me. Yeah.
some people were like, hey, the broadcast team was terrible. The broadcast team was great. It was really weird. It was a mixed thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a good feel for it. I haven't seen it. And by the way, it's weird on the Olympics because we knew she finished 4th yesterday at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watched it later at night. It's one of those deals because of the time.
Yep.
So, but we were just talking. It's like, can you imagine how much pressure is on a 15-year-old young lady if everything is good, right? If everything's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what country you're from right here.
Mm-hmm.
15-year-old girl, there's a lot of pressure on you because you're the best in the world supposedly at 15.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the Olympics and you skate for Russia.
Yeah.
And then you add in all this stuff. I don't know how she comes out of this without being scarred.
Yeah.
You feel for the 15-year-old after all this stuff. You can, whatever, Russia's doing this, the doping stuff, all those things are part of the story. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, really at the root of the story is I kind of feel for a 15-year-old
Well, I don't even
young
know
lady.
how you can be a kid. I don't know. I mean, you're not even... that's got to be your life.
Yeah, and some people be listen, she chose to do it and she wants to do it. And you get, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. But
Russia, though.
I mean, I always say this. I can't imagine my kids doing stuff like that and being in that kind of spotlight at 15, 16. I couldn't imagine that myself at 28. I mean, I think now if you grow up in that world, you get used to it probably to a degree. But I said this to you. I really think, I was thinking this coming off that story last night and into today. And, mental health issues are such a big story right now and have been, and it's more to the forefront than ever before. But I really think the way our sports, our youth sports especially, are set up, and when we get to, like you said, I think you said in Chicago you had a sports psychologist.
We did.
Golfers have sports psychologists a lot. Not all of them, but I think when you get to the elite level of sports, tennis players, maybe gymnasts, figure skaters, they might have that element. And they're a very good resource, by the way, to get in the right frame of mind.
Yep.
They have nutritionists now at every level, right? You have people working on your weights and your body all the time and recovery all the time. I really wonder, and I don't know if this is already a thing and I just am not aware of it, I wonder if we get to the point where we have like sports psychologists at a youth level, like earlier than like, or just as a part of it, as a part of like the whole thing. Yeah. Like people pay for hitting lessons and quarterback lessons and nutritionists, like I said, and go in the weight room. And as part of that umbrella, do we get to a point where somebody's like, hey, and on Thursday, you're going to go see your sports psychologist. Mm-hmm. So you're not seeing them too late. You know how to prepare for some of these things. And I think social media actually is at the front and center of this. Yeah. Like how to deal with that stuff. Be ready for this. Be aware of it. You don't have to, everything doesn't revolve around it. And I wonder if we get to a point, I wonder if that's like the next wave of youth sports is where we get to sports psychologists at like a very young age to make it part of their development. Yeah. And it's not such a taboo thing, you know?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with more and more pressure, it seems like now, whether it's like with Olympians younger than ever, whether it's with NILs and scholarships and all this stuff, I really wouldn't be surprised.
That's a good point. You bring up the NIL stuff too. Yeah. Like if I was in the sports psychology field or the psychology field, I think I would seriously consider, and they would know a lot more about it than me, but I've thought about it for like 10 minutes today, and that's it. So this is probably the greatest thing spouting it off on the radio. But I would seriously consider, like, I think you could make that into a business that doesn't exist right now. Like, you really target the younger kids to, again, one, make it not taboo. Mm-hmm. Two, to deal with stuff before things happen. You know how we do injury prevention? Mm-hmm. Like, injury prevention is a big thing now. Like, we have more science on it before. I'm not saying the science is there from a sports psychology standpoint, but at least it's a preventative measure, you know, because of what you're about to embark on and deal with. And I think that could be like, you could probably do well in that arena.
No, for sure. I think you're onto something there, Brent. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some people doing it already.
Well, I'm sure you can if you wanted to, but you got to go seek it out and find it, you know. What happens now is everybody's associated. Like, you can go to like I don't know, some travel team or some club team or whatever, and they say, hey, here to work out. Yeah. Right? Here's a nutritionist that will recommend. Here's this person will help you, be a soccer goalie and work on your craft. And then as part of that outfit, they say, and here's a sports psychologist that, you know, they just prevent some of the things that you might encounter along the way.
For sure.
We could be onto that. I don't know if they need that, or just go fishing.
I go fishing too.
Yeah, just go fishing. Yeah. Let's welcome in Captain Rick, who made NBA Slam poetry today. You might want to go back and listen to the show. Captain Rick, Florida Sports and Fishing Report. What's happening?
How you doing, Brent? I got to tell you, I have not found a lot of life's problems that fishing can't cure. For me, saying, well, I believe I'll just go fishing, usually makes the situation a lot better. But how young are you talking?
Well, I think when you...
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, I don't know where you draw the line, but I think a lot of kids are starting to learn about nutrition and weights and all this other stuff in the 10 to 11 to 12-year range, right? And also, by the way, 12-year-old kid, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids starting to get phones, starting to get social media, starting to get, like, it just happens. It's part of it. It's part of what they're growing up in. Not every kid, but a lot of kids. And so, yeah, I would say probably between a 10 and 12-year age group, where they make it more normalized, you know, and from a preventative standpoint, more so than it's already, the damage has been done, or something, we got to go fix it, you know?
Do you think you can pick out an athlete at 10?
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I don't know, but the best skater in the world, the figure skater in the world, is 15. She had to be pretty darn good at 10.
Yeah, but how many were good at 10? I mean, you wonder about that, and I've got so many buddies, particularly guys a little younger than me, that lived through their 12-year-olds, and it just wrecked their 12-year-olds. I am much more of the opinion that I want my kids to know I love them and they're safe, and go have a good time, and we'll take it from there.
And go fishing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's mandatory. What, are you crazy? All right, let's talk a little fishing. Just got off the phone with Captain David Bories. He said the redfish were better today. Yesterday it was all trout. Today it was much more reds. The reds were concentrated around docks and around oyster bars. It wasn't a real fast bite, but it was very easy to get your limit if you stuck with it a little bit. This evening is beautiful. There's almost no wind. The water's calm. Great time to head offshore, but you're not going to like it at daylight tomorrow. Tomorrow the cold front comes in. We get a north wind that is going to last all through the weekend and be no good for any but the biggest of the boats to get out. So it'll all be inshore fishing this week, but you can count on us talking it over in the morning on the Florida Sportsman Show from 7 to 9, and then back with another fishing report on Monday, brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing and CSS Landscaping. Thank you, boys.
All right, have a good weekend, Captain Rick. Florida Sportsman Fishing Report each and every day, and catch him tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on ESPN 690. And by the way, I like what Captain Rick just said, but that's not the bottom line now is we know it's not always reality. Like, there are just going to be the hardcore, right, in the sports world, that arena. So,
For sure.
I mean, you can't stop that now.
Yeah.
Like, you can say, hey, don't read social media, too, and guess what? People
Good
don't
read
read
it.
social media.
Yeah, for sure. Open it up, man. I don't want to open it up. Oh, I'll take this one. Okay.
And Patrick Mahomes, by the way, like did you see that he said don't come to my games, apparently, according to the report.
Yes, to his wife or his future wife and his brother, right? Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Do you
believe it?
I don't think that would have went over well with his wife.
Yeah, this
his
is
brother, I mean.
Yeah, you can tell your brother that.
Well, Kansas City should just ban him themselves.
Yeah, I know it.
Like, yeah.
Well, listen, you can say, again, the antics stuff is, listen, guys, try to hide.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Let's keep this down.
Yeah,
Like,
for
you
sure.
can do that. You can, like you said, you would have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't buy that he has said he's, you're not allowed to come to my games anymore.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I hear you.
Or he's probably not going to stay married very long.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah, for
AJ
sure.
Rose, Khalil Herbert, Shamar Jefferson.
Mac Jones, next level.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney, next level. Trevor Lawrence.
By the way, we're
rookie.
opening cards. You
Oh,
got
yeah,
another
sorry.
Trevor?
Yeah, another Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I'm the Trevor.
Out of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah, is this a bang, Casey? Not, I mean.
Yeah, wait a minute. We had Trevor, we bang.
Bang.
DJ Vasher, Davis Mills,
Chris Evans.
Brandon Stevens,
Derek
Justin
Forrest.
Fields, next level.
Nice.
We're hitting.
Felipe Franks.
Daz Newsome. Felipe Franks. There's a
Aaron
collector's item.
Robinson. Jamar Jefferson.
Jonathan Cooper.
There's a Jamar Jefferson. Okay.
What do you got on the? Have you done the?
Elijah Mitchell, KJ Costello, and Trey McKitty. Okay.
We're ripping through this today. We got to get you out of here.
Yeah.
We
got one card and autograph here.
Yo, who's
You ready?
it gonna be? We had 0 for 2 yesterday.
I don't like the position I just saw.
Defensive tackle again or offensive line?
We got autographed Elijah Ponder. Who does he play for? Anybody take a guess?
No.
Cincinnati. Oh, nope, he went to Cincinnati. I don't know who he plays for. I'm not sure.
The autographed cards are cool looking, though.
They're cool looking. Yeah. All right, Brent, come
All
on.
right, here we
Bring
go.
us home.
Deion Jones, Chris Jones, Every Jones in the league.
Yep.
Darren Waller.
Uh-oh.
State-of-the-art Mac Jones, Alabama.
Uh-oh. Numbered?
Number 12.
Of?
Doesn't say of.
Oh, so it's not numbered.
No.
Oh.
I told you
Yes.
there'd be a Mac in there, though. You guys
That
laughed
is-
at me.
You did.
I
said-
wasn't laughing. Was I laughing? Okay.
Was I laughing?
I don't remember laughing at that. Why did I laugh at that?
I don't remember laughing at that. Extra points. Gosh, my eyes are bad. Miles Sanders.
But yeah, Brent, with the extra points, was there a number on that one?
Oh, yeah, because you said that was the
I made
Kareem
the
Hunt
mistake.
one, right?
I made the mistake.
And not of. It's just 111.
Well, it's on the front, if it would be.
Oh, yours number was on the front?
I mean.
I wasn't here yesterday when you found that. Well, you didn't find it. Casey found it. Youth Movement, Chase Claypool. I like this one right here. It's probably not much because I'm learning this stuff. It's got a college jersey. It says, season's greetings from Trey Lance.
That's what I got. I got a Trey Lance. I mean, I got the season's greetings one.
You did?
That's what the Jamar Chase one is. Is it autographed?
No, it's not autographed.
Okay. Numbered?
No.
Okay.
Not of.
Okay. That's still a good. I mean, all right.
I would say it's a pretty good
It's a
card.
rarity.
Rashawn Slater. College uniform. See, the college uniform stuff doesn't do as well, right? Have I learned about this?
Correct.
See that? Gosh, I love gaining knowledge. Dwayne Eskridge. No thanks. Ronnie Perkins.
Ronnie.
And that's it. Ronnie plays for the Patriots. So that's
wasn't
a hot box.
Wasn't a hot box. Ice box.
What are you talking about?
It was hot enough.
Well, I mean, it
How
was hot
much was
enough.
the box?
enough.
Roughly. You don't have to give your whole bank account information.
I want to say the box was around $100.
Okay, we pulled a $350 card. So, yes, it's a hot box.
So, guys, are we going to sell that card now, or are we going to wait?
What
for
should
inflation?
we do? Casey actually asked me, what should we do? Is this as hot as Jamar Chase is going to get?
I feel like it's up to you guys because you pulled it and you paid for it, and I'm just here pressing.
Yeah, but you're the expert, Casey. I mean, you know how these things work out.
But I think it should be up to you guys.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Theoretically, how much would it go? Like, so
I think
what would it take for him to go up? Even more now. You know what I'm saying?
Just continue to be good.
But I'm saying, like, does he have to be like an all-pro?
No.
No, okay.
He just needs to be good.
So if you're hanging on to Jamar Chase right now, you're hanging on for the next, like, at least season, if not 2-3 seasons.
You either got to sell now because the season's still fresh enough that people remember, or we're holding through the offseason and we're hoping that he's not bad.
Yeah.
Is he going to be bad? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Is he going to get hurt?
Yeah.
It's a lot of cards, though, Brent, we can buy with that.
So you're looking at, I think at floor, I think we're definitely comfortably getting $350, but keep in mind we have to pay eBay fees, which are 12%.
Oh, give me a break. Go on Craigslist. Free. not to do eBay
How many cars are
fees?
floating around Craigslist?
I'm not going to meet up with somebody on Craigslist, so you can do that yourself.
I'm not paying 12%. No one's paying 12%.
Listen, we'll have Austin answer the door.
Yeah, it's fine, man. You just
Answer the door. I'm not giving him a place to knock on the door. What are you talking about?
I've never bought anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to invite some stranger to my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you meet? Like the local McDonald's?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that how that works?
In a dark alley, just so he doesn't get any ideas. Coming to my turf.
I'm leaning towards selling it.
Yeah.
Because.
But it's like one of three. There's only 3 of those made. You want to say goodbye to that?
Here's what we have to do a little research, all right? Give me like a comparable one from 2 years ago. Or like
when's the last time a receiver won Rookie of the Year?
Exactly what I was just going to ask.
Okay, but give me like even Justin Herbert from 2 years ago.
It's not comparable at all.
It's not?
No, absolutely not. Justin Jefferson is even lower. So like your comparable would be Jefferson, but even then it's not close. Like it's a hard comparable to make.
Yeah.
You can't compare him to a quarterback because it's not the same.
So like Herbert from last year in this kind of run would be like.
Could you compare it to like
5 times as much?
Yes.
Okay.
What about like DK Metcalf?
No,
not even close.
So yeah, Jefferson's probably your best choice.
Yeah, like I'm surprised.
Was Jefferson Rookie of the Year?
No.
Oh, Herbert was Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, like it's.
It might be better to hold on.
It's up to you guys.
But he also doesn't want to send it to the PSA.
I'm telling you, it will hurt our value.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
We're better off selling it
the
raw.
PSA,
exactly.
by the
I agree
way,
with that.
You do agree with that?
Of course, because then what
if
happens
it's
when they put
validated?
it? Yeah, but then if they put it in the case, it's like an 8. Well, then we're stuck with an 8. And then
Dude,
it
if we
loses
come back
value.
at 8, we're done.
Yeah, it loses value.
Because it's not gonna. I promise you, it's not gonna be a 10.
Yeah,
you're pretty confident.
I'm so confident.
Okay, and I trust him.
You know, the 10 would make it like 10 times as much.
Yeah.
So now, wait, let me ask you this: if you send it to PSA and they put it in the case, can we break the case apart?
Yeah, we're risking ruining the card though. And do you know how much it is to grade a card right now?
No, how much is it?
A lot.
Really?
Yes.
Like
they've been
$10
backed
bucks?
up for.
Oh yeah, they're backed up.
$10.
No, like $90.
It's $90 to grade a card.
As of last month, it was $175.
You got to be joking.
It's going up to
me.
$175.
There's no way.
They're coming back down now, like because they're caught
Yeah,
up.
you better come back down.
And if you-
$175.
And if you're with
That's
PSA,
half the price the card's worth.
yeah, that's why we're not doing it.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
Hey, should send one of those autograph ones. Like, he spent $175 to grade this.
Let's go ahead and send him an Eli Stove rookie card. Premier draft, baby.
That is a BSA 10. It's now worth 18 cents.
They probably send it back. They'd be like, we can't.
Yeah.
We feel bad.
What is this?
We don't want to take your money.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go.
Oh, man.
All right, I say we hold. You got no one to hold them, no one to fold them. I could get all the money I've spent on cards back, though.
I know you could. And we can invest again.
Yeah.
But then it kind of gives us a
Long-term
reason
plan.
to be Jamar Chase fans.
That's a good point.
That's fun.
All right.
I don't know.
What are you going to do with it? Can we trust
Casey?
Casey with it?
I trust Casey with it. I mean, I think we got to display it in the studio.
Casey, by the way, just like I know you
Trust that?
you can't write like a will or anything like that, but I want to know where your card is in case we have to get it.
Why don't you keep
I
it
feel
then?
like, yeah, see, no, I think this card's going to maybe we should sell it. I feel like this card's going to bring bad juju to the show. I feel like because
if I get fired, it's with me.
Yeah, see? Maybe we should sell it.
Who's going to get fired first?
Well, me or Casey?
Well, by the way, if you get fired, you need the money. Sell it. There you
Yeah.
go.
I need the money anyway. You know what you're paying me?
Yeah.
I ain't paying you anything. But I bought the damn card, so you can't cash it in without my permission.
Oh.
All right, get out of here, man. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 rolls on. By the way, we will be at Davoli's House of Cards Wednesday, 3 to 6. Opening more cards, learning more about the business. Trying to find Trevor Lawrence. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Clearing skies overnight tonight. It'll turn cooler, dropping to near 50 degrees by morning. Partly to mostly sunny, a little breezy at times for your Saturday. The afternoon high in the upper 60s. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop Beard's Diamonds.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It could be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead. So you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't safe touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what safe touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And safe touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the safe touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the safe touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead. With Fidelity Income Planning, we'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
I'm Josh Scobie, proud supporter of Guardian Catholic School, where we believe that every child deserves access to a quality faith-based education. Grab your friends and join me for the 18th annual Golf Classic on February 28th at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Play a round of golf to raise money for educational scholarships for deserving children in North Jacksonville. Become a sponsor or reserve your space. Visit GuardianMillionDollarShootout.com or call 904-765-1920. Guardian Catholic School, faithful protectors of potential.
Jerry and Larry's family auto shop needed a small business loan fast so they could hire more help. Jerry suggested OnDeck.com, but instead Larry called
Loan Cannon, launch the cash! Oh yeah!
Oh no.
Oh, right in the fender. Stop! Loan Cannon! Why?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. OnDeck, the online lender that makes it easy to apply in minutes and, if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. With lines of credit up to $100,000 and term loans up to $250,000, OnDeck lets you choose the loan that's right for your business. As America's largest online small business lender, OnDeck has funded over $14 billion to businesses like yours, so you can borrow with confidence and get your loan fast. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah chartered industrial bank, member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
Mike McCoy's a quarterback coach. He's going to coach the quarterbacks. He'll also be involved with game planning. That's one of the things I like to do. And the places I've been is we like to interject everybody and their ideas. But Mike will coach the quarterbacks. Jim Bob is, as a pass game coordinator, can assist the coordinator. He can assist. It's another way of looking at it without coaching a position, right? It's another way of breaking down defenses, help press wherever he needs help. He can assist in the tight end room or the receiver room or wherever it might be, and then also help us with game planning. Everything will run through Press Taylor. He is the offensive coordinator. Between he and I, we'll make the final decisions on everything that we do offensively.
There you go, Doug Pederson. I love the part of it. It almost sounded like he was going to be sarcastic in that interview, in that soundbite. It's like Mike McCoy is the quarterback coach. He will coach the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I didn't know where that was going.
I didn't either when when I was down at Jags headquarters and that was live. I was like, is he going to laugh right now? But he was trying to explain the roles of everybody. Just kind of sounded a little funny at the time. So Doug Pederson, very good. And I'll tell you this, early vibes from Doug Pederson in the building from some folks I talked to. Not surprisingly, a 180. So that's a good sign in the building. And I'm telling you, the building needs a little bit of that. And I really think we have needed a little bit of that. I'm saying like Jacksonville, right? And people talk about the Jags, but also many of you who are fans of the Jags. I can really tell, even with Balky still in the mix and whatever's going on in the front office, and there's still a lot undetermined, and we could probably still be very critical about that, from fans to media to whatever, okay, what's up, right? I do think it's funny what a coach does, a coaching hire does. It gets you excited. And I think Doug Pederson, that hire has been a good hire. How he got here wasn't so good. It didn't feel like, at least. But I think he's a good hire. And I think that's what my feeling in town is. That's what people are thinking. And they kind of couldn't wait to stop complaining about something. And I'm not blaming you for complaining. I'm in your boat. I'm the same thing. I couldn't wait to stop complaining about the Jag. Give me something. Give me something to hang on to. And right now, that something is Doug Pederson and the combination of this staff and also, of course, Trevor Lawrence. Because once again, that was clear as day. Press Taylor said it, and no doubt others have said it. this intrigue in the job in Jacksonville. While I think Shad Khan's probably a good owner to work for, and I think a lot of people have said that, the intrigue is Trevor. And Press Taylor was really kind of candid about it. He said he kicked our butt, lit us up. In that last game, Press Taylor was part of the Indianapolis Colts organization. And he certainly did that to them in the last game. And then he's like, now looking at it from this point of view, it was like, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see he played that well. And then he also said that he watched some of the news conferences and he does that from around the league. So it's interesting the investment that he kind of already has in who Trevor Lawrence is, and they have a lot of conversations about it. So I think a lot of good vibes in the building. I think in town now about Doug Pederson and this staff and where this thing could be headed. Now they got to do it. They got to go get good players. They got to get better players, and they've got to look aligned, and you got to get rid of any drama that has existed for what feels like the better part of 4 years in Jacksonville. So hopefully that part quiets down. It's been good for talk radio. It's been good for us, but I don't think it's good for the organization as a whole. And I said this earlier in the show. Maybe the biggest thing that I heard today was from Press Taylor when he said, we got to do what's right for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got to put egos aside and do what's right for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that is important. I think that sounds simple to say. I think it sounds maybe even cliche to say. It's not what's been done here. And so now let's see if they can live up to that. Pederson and Taylor and Caldwell and McCoy and everybody. What's good for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Can you live that mantra? Is that your mission statement? Instead of, in this league, what often is good for me, especially when the stuff starts hitting the fan. And so I'll be interested to watch that. And see if that's the case, because Jacksonville Jaguars, Shad Khan, he needs that. He needs somebody looking out. He needs people looking out for the organization on that football side. And I'm not sure that has been the case all the time in the last few years. I'm sure it's been it's probably wanted to happen by many, but I don't think it's actually happened by many. So I think some of that stuff's significant. And now we got to see how it plays out and see what happens along the way. Of course.
Is it weird I want to be friends with Press Taylor for no real reason?
Well, that's good. I mean, it's probably likable. So your first impression was good. He's a young guy.
Yeah. He just feels like a friend that I don't have yet that I'm working on, but I'm not working on it at all. I don't know. I just get that vibe from him. Like, I feel like he might be a good dude.
Hey, I think there is that vibe. And I've said this, and it just sounds funny to say because I'm not necessarily hammering everything that's been around here, but most recently with the urban stuff and then like kind of what everybody's perception of bulky and just like there's been this black cloud of like, are these people good people? Like, are they just looking for themselves? Are they really after what the Jacksonville Jaguars should have? Like, that's what I'm getting at. And I think to your point, Casey, I think a lot of people in that building think Doug Pederson's a good dude. A lot of people outside the building, in the league, people that you talk to, people that over the last month and a half, 2 months we've talked to about Doug Pederson, said he's a good dude. And I think that's going to sprinkle down through the organization and have people feeling better about working there and getting their job done and trying to win and all this stuff, from people selling tickets to every position in the building on the football side. So I think there's something to actually what you say there that, yeah, man, it doesn't make you win because you're a good dude.
Right.
But I think it helps when you lose sometimes where it doesn't all go right that you are a good dude and you still can see through some of that. And I hate saying it like that because it's not like I really don't know if Urban's like the worst person in the world like people want to paint it. But he obviously didn't give off that vibe of he's like an all-world human being. And he's never really given off that vibe in his he tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and then everything hit the fan here in Jacksonville. So I think it's actually a pretty good observation on your point that I think Doug Pederson is surrounding himself with some pretty good dudes.
Now that's what I do.
Now let's hope they can coach the hell out of football and call right plays.
And we can be friends with Press Taylor.
And by the way, acquire good players.
But that too.
If they can all do that, then this thing's going to really work. in Jacksonville. Hey, a lot going on this weekend. Daytona 500 will be in Daytona, of course, on Sunday. And a lot going on the campus of the University of North Florida, as well as baseball season actually starts tonight, all weekend long. The baseball team plays softball in action as well. Take a look at our Swoop Minute, UNFospreys.com for all your schedules, your news, the results, how you can get tickets. Basketball season is winding down, and in women's hoops, they'll honor the seniors tomorrow. Jazz Bond, Aaron Jones, Britt Gore, Retta Moore, Tatiana Thompson, Tiffany Tolbert, and Tia Robinson. Saturday's senior day at 2 o'clock at UNF Arena. Jazz Bond, by the way, becomes first Osprey in UNF D1 history to be named COSIDA Academic All-District. Carter Hendrickson became the second Osprey in D1 history to join that team, along with Wajid Aminu. UNF unbeaten at home with a win against Liberty. Jarius Hicklin had 31 points. UNF hit 14 three-pointers to beat Liberty. That was a terrific win for the Ospreys. They play Florida Gulf Coast tomorrow. I'll have the call of that one on ESPN Plus at 5 o'clock, but come on over to the arena and be a part of it. Women's tennis, UNF plays home a couple times this weekend. Men's tennis hosts Georgia Southern Sunday and SC State on Monday. Swimming's in action. Golf, men's and women's. And like I mentioned, softball and baseball. So everything's going on. It's like transition time, the busiest time of the year for anybody who works at the University of North Florida in their athletic department. Check them out. That's your Swoop Minute, UNFospreys.com for news, schedules, results, and where you can get some tickets as well to those basketball games tomorrow. Are you getting basketball fever at all, Casey? I'm talking college hoops, because it's almost time. We're going to have a bunch of NCAA tournament games and also conference championship games on ESPN 690. Do you start to pay attention to the landscape, or does it have to hit you over the head in a couple more weeks yet?
No, I watch it. I get a good feel about who's going to ruin my bracket, and that's kind of what I look forward to, who's going to crush my dreams in a couple months. But, yeah, I do start paying attention. I am paying attention right now as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm a bad fan. I'll admit, like I'm on the Friars bandwagon right now. They did lose to Villanova the other night, but that's okay. That. They're 21-3. I mean, they've been unbelievable. They're in the top 10.
Can't win them all.
Not even sure how much they'll dip because that was a pretty good game. But, I mean, Providence in the top 10, man, this week. That's unbelievable. And so, yeah, I'm on the bandwagon again. I don't watch I'm not a diehard anymore Friars, but I grew up obviously rooting for the PC Friars. So I think that's pretty cool. That's got me attached to the college basketball world a little bit. And I think the parity, I said this the other day, I think there's parity in college basketball in the top 6, 7, 8 teams, where I think you could pick anybody out of a hat to win it.
Yeah.
By the way, I would not include Providence in that. I think you could take like 8 teams, and I think we could all grab a team and we'd feel confident that that team could make a run, which I like. That's pretty good. Sometimes in college basketball, it's like Gonzaga and Kentucky. Right? And UCLA didn't come out of nowhere last year, right? But they actually went on a run. Like, I don't think going into the tournament, people were anticipating that. So there's always that possibility to happen, maybe with one of those teams that are in like the 12 to 15 range. What I don't know, and I'm not as familiar with the college basketball, and we learn this as we go along, is who's got potential to be a Cinderella. And really in the A-Sun, like Liberty, they're not playing well right now, but they got the Darius McGee kid, got a really good player that can carry you. And Liberty's been around, and they've been around it. So teams like that, who's that going to be? Or Austin's team, Murray State, they're in the top 25.
Yeah.
Like that would be considered a Cinderella if they can go on a run, even though they're a top 25 team and people know the program, thanks in part to John Morant. So I love this time of year in college basketball as we get to know people a little bit more, especially in our world where we're so football heavy coming off the Super Bowl. We will see what happens. ESPN 690, by the way, will have a lot of that. The Knowles and Gators, by the way, are they getting into irrelevant land?
Yeah, it's unfortunate for FSU. They lost. Everybody's hurt, and it just happened to be all their seniors, so they're literally playing guys that had early in the season never even considered standing up during the game because they had a nice, comfortable seat on the bench, and they weren't having any need to get up. So now those guys are playing like 30-plus minutes for Leonard Hamilton. So that's a problem. On the side for Florida, yeah, just bad. We'll leave it at that. But they're both on the outside looking in, and it's going to take. I said this, I think, last night on OT. FSU, they got Duke on Saturday, which probably not going to win. So then they got 4 after that. You pretty much need to win all 4 of those and then do something in the ACC tournament maybe even have to win it.
Yeah, Joaquin Niemann, by the way, in the golf has the lead. He is incredible, 63-63. Never heard of Cameron Young. He's in second.
Yep, he's been good this year.
Jordan Spieth is in third, but 6 shots back.
Yeah, it's pretty much Joaquin Niemann's to lose because nobody really believes Cameron Young can get it done. He hasn't done it before. Joaquin Niemann is a PGA Tour winner, so if your money, it's Joaquin Niemann's to lose. It's that easy.
Russell Knox, by the way, 4 under today. He's 7 under, so he's top 6. We love Russell Knox, so that's good for him. And I don't think my guy's going to make the cut.
Yeah, Harold.
Who else do we have? South Beach Gary's got Scheffler, and who's the other guy that we're keeping an eye
on? We got Dallas. He has Colin Morikawa.
Oh, Morikawa. How's he doing?
He's in third.
Oh, is he all the way up there?
I think he's on the first page.
Oh, yeah, he is. You're right. He's in 5th. So a good little face-off between those two guys trying to get Players' Championship tickets on the Wednesday of Players Week. All right, have a good weekend, everybody. We will have you covered on ESPN 690 all weekend long, some hoops. And then on the TV side, we've got Fox 30 all day on Sunday. The Daytona 500, our race coverage begins from down there at Daytona noontime on Fox 30 on Sunday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday, 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
If you've been involved in a